Hi. Hope everyone's doing alright. I am back with more Vampire Therapists. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last stream I have of this game, because I know a vampire already kinda quit on me, so I don't know if storylines are starting to be wrapped up, but we'll see how it goes. If it'll load. Wait, no, I hear it. Alright. Hi, Pixie, how are you?
Honestly, yeah. I think Dr. Drain's starting to accept himself. That's what this is all about, ain't it?
Definitely.
Indeed, Samuel. There will always be room for self-improvement, of course. None of us are perfect, and none of us are irredeemable.
I reckon so. Whoever shows up tonight, I'll give him that same benefit of the doubt.
Oh, that's cool. I'm doing pretty well. I gotta just like lay down for half of the day, and now I'm here. I've been kind of exhausted, like, I guess overworking myself for the past half a week.
You are a wonder, my dear. What distortions do you think you'll focus on tonight?
This one. This one. This one.
I think these are the ones that are likely to come up.
They all do, one way or another. We are wildly irrational beings, my friend. But I will leave you to Dr. Drain.
All right, I think I'm ready. Here it comes. Hello, darling. Miss me?
God, he sounds like a fucking has-been hotel character.
Oh boy. Look, are we gonna have a civilized meeting this time, or are you gonna break them fangs out? I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. And you know what? You're going to love it, American.
Okay, British.
So lay your cares and your underpants at the door, because Lord Luridus is here to take you away.
Are you trying to flirt with me?
I guess Dr. Drain's back on the stuff again. Why don't you ask the little worm yourself? Oh, Doctor, your master summons you. Hello, Sam.
Oh, I see.
Doc, what's going on here? Why is Lord Luridus calling himself your master? Because that's what he is. You've helped me accept that, curse you.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Whoa there, compadre. How did I help you accept Lord Lourdes as your master? That weren't ever a thing I encouraged. You were correct. I was approaching my issue unscientifically. I thought I could restrain him forever, but I was suppressing my vampiric needs. I had to accept the scientific truth. I am not nature's master. Nature is the master of all. To fight that reality is folly. Now hold on there, cowpoke.
Okay.
That's some extreme thinking there. I'm no scientist, but ain't finding nature as natural as nature itself? You're just babbling now. I ain't. Isn't fighting nature where we all come from? Why we walked out of the sea in the first place? Why anything lives? Evolution is the inevitable result of a species' fight for survival. Those best adapted to their environments thrive, and those who do not, die. It is not done with intent. Yeah, but them species are fighting nature, ain't they? And the fighting's what makes them what they are. A simplistic interpretation, though I suppose not inaccurate. But still, I realized that I was suppressing a great part of myself. I did as you instructed, you know. I drank blood. Real blood. And it was incredible. I had forgotten how it was not just the taste that made one feel satisfied. It's the feeling of life that it infuses in the body. I felt strong, confident, above the petty worries and squabbles that come with mortality. I felt like a vampire, like the base creature that I truly am. What choice had I but to welcome the truth? I am a slave to my nature. So you see, I am his master. I always have been.
Please don't say that.
I always will be. Just as I told you, therapist. The same dark master lies within you. You know this, don't you? I can see it behind your eyes.
We don't all have dark masters in our lizard brains. Thank you.
Oh yes, you cannot hide him from me. You cannot hide the blood, the screaming, the power you felt when you stripped life and dignity from those pathetic mortals.
The fuck? The fuck is he on about? Oh god. The screaming, the power you felt when you stripped away the life and the dignity from those pathetic blah 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 blah. Okay, Shadow the Hedgehog.
I know your thoughts, my leather-bound friend. I know what you crave. Lie back, and I will give it to you.
Fuck you.
You poor, pathetic creature. You cannot even accept my gifts, can you? You wear the American flag as your chastity cage.
You wear the American flag as your chastity cage. Oh god, I want to clip that. Oh, wow.
You know, I think I'll pick up one of those at the sex shop on the way home. I wouldn't want the dear doctor using my beloved equipment. You really think you can dominate him completely? Well, that's a control fallacy, amigo. Dr. Drain tried to shut you out and couldn't. You can't shut him out either. I don't need to shut him out any longer, naive fool. He has accepted that I am his true nature, and that I will always know what is best for him.
I don't know, I was right.
Well, that's another distortion, Lourdes. You always know what's best for Dr. Drain? Bullshit. You got a one-track mind and it's headed right for a stake in the heart. So let me get this straight. My mind is a train, yes? And it will receive a stake in its heart? Oh, now you're just being nitpicky with my words. You know what I'm saying. You can't think of anything but blood and sex. You don't know what's best for Dr. Drain. And I suppose you know what's best for him, American. I suppose it's faith in the good Lord Jesus Christ and the cold caress of a gun.
Man, what's up with the stereotypes today?
I know enough to know I don't have all the answers. Oh, Oh, bravo! Thank you for enlightening me. What an inspiring genius you are. Look, put Dr. Drain back on. I want to get his take on all this. But of course, talk to him all you like. He's a good boy now and knows what's best for him. Doc, what's going on here? This ain't you. You're maybe the most motivated fella I ever met. Lord Lourdes ain't who you are. Don't you see, Sam? He is who I am. When I drank that real blood again, I knew it. I felt him. Every time I indulge, he will take over.
I don't think that's true.
Dr. Drain sees certain doom, but perhaps it is fear that...
Don't you see, Sam? He is. Now hold on a minute there, Doc.
Okay.
It sounds a heck of a lot to me like you're giving up control to Lord Lourdes. If you're doing that from the start, you're gonna be proven right. You're 400 years old, compadre. I think you can handle that guy. Can I, though? Can any animal overcome its base, necessary instincts? It's just... I wish that Lord Lourdes were not a natural outcome of my vampiric needs. It isn't fair. I have worked so hard to overcome our curse. Don't I deserve a better nature? Dang, that fellow looks pretty down. What can I do?
I don't fucking know. Cowboy wisdom.
Partner, I gotta pass on a little cowboy wisdom here. And that is, a horse is a horse. Of course, of course. Good God, I think my brain just succumbed to age and rotted out of my head. If that is cowboy wisdom, I shudder to imagine what cowboy ignorance is. I'm serious. Tell me, Doc, what is a horse? Equus ferus cabalus, an ungulate of the family Equidae. Herbivorous perissodactyls, they... No, I didn't say classify a horse. I asked what is a horse. What do you mean, what is a horse? I'm asking just that. Don't describe it, just tell me, what's a horse? What the hell are you saying? A horse is a horse!
I think that's the point.
Of course. I'm sorry, when is the sunrise today? I think I should like to meet it. And what are you, Dr. Drain?
A vampire! Whoa.
I'm a vampire. And a vampire is a vampire. Of course. So what would you tell a friend who's feeling bad about being a vampire? I would tell them that it is ridiculous to feel bad about what they are. Well, let's soften that up a little. I would tell them there is no reason to feel bad about what they are. So why don't you tell yourself that? You all right there, partner? Just give me a moment. Dr. Drain, there is no reason to feel bad about what you are. Yeehaw! Now that's what I'm talking about. Please tell me you did not just yee-haw during my breakthrough.
Yeehaw!
I couldn't help it. I'm proud of you, buckaroo. Oh, yes. Dr. Drain should be very proud of who he is. You forget, my little gun fetishist friend. I am Dr. Drain.
What?
I am the truest part of him. And you have no idea what depravities I've been up to, what uncharted places I have explored with my tongue alone.
Please do not describe that to me.
And it's all Dr. Drain's fault. He made me feral.
Ugh.
All right, Dr. Drain, I know you're in there. We gotta admit something. You're giving a little too much blame to Lord Lourdes here. You can control this guy, but because you're blaming him, you're giving him a pass to be depraved. That's not why he gives me a pass, darling. It's because he loves depravity. The murderous little pervert can't wait for me to take over. I should be so proud of how filthy he is. You know why he loves it when I take over?
Please don't. I can see where this is going.
Because it feels good. He knows that, because he feels that delicious blood euphoria. It is because that is what he is meant to feel. No, you unfuckable wretch. Dr. Drain should not be proud of me.
You're the unfuckable wretch.
I'm sick. I'm twisted. I am a filthy motherfucker. Or I would be, if she weren't long dead. Actually, I wonder where her mum is buried. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to get Dr. Drain to feel bad by using them labels. How's he ever gonna come to terms with you if you're making yourself so gross to deal with? Oh, perhaps you're not as stupid as you look. That's exactly why I call myself those incredibly accurate names. That's why he fears me. That's why he will always be my slave. He cannot bear to be associated with me, and yet here I am.
I don't want to know, Julie. I don't want to know.
You know, he thinks his mother died of old age. But you know what I think? I think she died of shame. Because she knew I was her real son all along.
It's not. Shut up.
Oh, admit it. You know what Dr. Drain is. No matter how great a scientist he may be, Dr. Drain is a creature of pure shame. That is the essence of his being. That is what makes me so strong.
Lord Lourdes believes there is nothing redeemable in Dr. Drain. I believe...
No matter... I ain't gonna deny our man Dr. Drain is feeling a lot of shame. But that don't define him. He's lots of things. He's dang smart. Incredibly knowledgeable fella. He's pretty funny sometimes. Got that real British type of humor. And he's real determined. I ain't never seen anyone work toward a goal like him. He's a hell of a lot more than shame. Do you remember how I told you I didn't have a gag reflex? I believe I might have been wrong. Why, I believe you've inspired something in me. I can add a new sentiment to my feelings about your little doctor. Pity. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Such a shame. Now why must you deny the poor little worm? If he loves science as much as he pretends to, he knows that I am inevitable. He should give in to me.
That's true.
Lord Lourdes does not write Dr. Drain's rulebook.
If he loves science as much...
Where is it?
If he loves science as much... It ain't up to you to decide what Dr. Drain should or shouldn't do. All them shoulds were the thing that made him lock you up in the first place. They're what made him afraid and ashamed, because he was always thinking about what he should be or do. Of course, they were his own creation, but he cannot help it. He knows in his heart that he should... Lord Lourdes, did I give you permission to speak, my little worm? I don't need permission. I just wanted to tell you something. Oh, he wants to tell me something. Well, go ahead, darling. Tell me something. I shall remember it when I'm shagging a football fanatic in a dumpster. I accept you. What do you mean you accept me? You cannot accept me. I am your nightmare made flesh. I am the reflection in the mirror you cannot see. Nevertheless, I accept you. I accept your bloodlust. I accept your violence. You accept my cock.
Nice.
Yes, I accept even that. I will not deny you any longer. But as you are me, I am you.
Yay, you're accomplishing shadow work.
I take responsibility for all your actions. I shall feed you and nourish you, and you shall live by the Hippocratic oath I have sworn. Dare you to try, you sniveling... No, I do not need to try. You and I are one. I know you. I accept you. And I love you all the same. Curse you. Curse you both. You sicken me. You do not sicken me. I accept you. No. I accept you. No!
Oh. I did it. He looks happier.
Dr. Drain, are you all right? Yes, Sam. I am fine. You look fine. I feel fine. It is a very new feeling. I'm not sure I know what to do with it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but do you want to go down and dance in the club? Dance? Dance. Would I like to dance? Yes. Yes, I would like to dance. Let us dance. I was hoping you wouldn't say yes, but let's go, partner.
Ah! I did it. Am I done lying?
Come on, Sam.
I like
Let us
that.
cut rugs.
Huge breakthrough today. Dr. Train accepted Lord Lourdes and all his needs. I think it's going to be smooth sailing from here on in. Dr. Train figured out that the Lord Lourdes needs aren't bad or good. Dr. Train accepted that he's a vampire that comes with certain realities. Going forward, I think the important thing is making sure that Lord Lourdes comes out in healthy ways. I don't want to see Dr. Drake digging up his mother or nothing.
I ain't much of a dancer. Neither am I. But dancing is what I feel like doing. I guess we're dancing, then.
Now what the hell am I looking at? Bert, you be nice. I guess that explains why Sam doesn't dance.
Crimson, most dear, have you seen Samuel? I usually check in with him after a session, but he has disappeared.
Check it out, Sugar Blood.
What is he doing?
I think he's goth square dancing.
What the fuck is Goth Square dancing?
So he is. We should not laugh.
Now circle right and do-si-do.
But then again, that is a should statement. The master therapist once
He
again
did
enters his
it.
domain. Good evening, Samuel.
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm just the right cowpoke in the right place at the right time.
I don't know, search up Goth Square dancing and see what comes up.
A cowpoke who has a habit of disqualifying the positive. It is ungracious to deny a compliment, my dear. You are an excellent therapist and an inspiring dancer.
All right. That's enough of that.
You are seeing Senora Deste tonight, yes? How do you feel about her progress?
I don't know. That lady can really hold some grudges. I think she's starting to think about herself a little more, though.
An ancient grudge is a difficult thing to forget. It can become a part of one's very identity. Vlad Tepes only became Dracula because he was obsessed with the Turks, remember?
Yeah, I don't think the Senora's that far gone.
Do you feel you are prepared for whatever distortions she might bring today?
Well, let me think about that.
Let me see.
Oh,
All right, filled my chamber. I'm ready to go.
I don't remember people being like this about crossbows.
Well, you can take a cowboy out of the West, but you can't take the West out of the cowboy.
So it would seem. Well, good luck tonight, Samuel. I will leave you to it.
All right, deep breath, Sammy boy. Here she comes. Bonanati, Signora.
What?
It's Italian. I thought I'd learn how to say hello to you properly. Bonanati.
No. No, I cannot read.
Okay.
I appreciate your attempt to speak in my language, but please do not attempt to do so again. Good evening. We'll do fine.
Good evening, Signora.
I apologize. I am feeling delicate tonight.
What's going on, Signora?
The realization that I am merely a repulsive, angry old woman becomes disappointingly clear. It weighs upon me in more than one way.
This can't be coming from nowhere, Senora. What's the deal? Last time we were talking, you seemed to be feeling pretty good.
You want to know why I am disgusted with myself? Here, look.
Whoa, hello there.
That's a centaur. Did she make a centaur version of my character?
I know. It is terrible.
I wouldn't say that at all, Senora. In fact, I think it's beautiful. I can tell you put a lot of love into this thing.
It is an entirely juvenile effort. There is nothing redeemable about this rubbish.
Well, that's not true.
I think you're being a little harsh there, Senora. I ain't capable of drawing anything half that good. It's clear to me you got some sense of what you're doing. I think you're focusing on your weak spots when there's a lot of good here.
Per favore, look at his abdomen. What is that? It looks like an insect's thorax.
Well, you might have been a little indulgent with the abs, but there's nothing wrong with a little indulgence. I call it style.
And I call it trash.
Believe me, Senora, I know horses. You're a heck of an artist.
Then why do I feel nothing but shame when I look upon it? If I feel nothing but disgust, then it is disgusting.
Isabella's feeling does not create objective truth.
Oh.
Then why?
Senora, that's letting your gut make up reality. You look at this piece of art and see trash because that's how you're feeling. How come I don't think it's trash?
Oh, dear Sam. I mean this in the kindest way I can, but you are an asino.
I'm guessing that ain't a good thing.
It is a donkey.
Thank you.
Well, that don't seem too kind to me. My opinions don't count.
In this case, no, because I am never wrong about art.
Okay, that's not true.
Art is subjective. I do not think anyone can be wrong about it.
In this case, no.
I gotta challenge you on that, Senora. Saying you're always right about art? That can't be true. Art is always changing. I've seen some European art from before your time that was supposed to be perfect, and dang, that baby Jesus always looks about 50.
And they had no sense of perspective. Barbarians.
Don't judge your art based on how you alone feel. Feelings ain't reality, and someone else is always going to have another opinion.
You are indeed correct. But no one will see this insult to Chiron.
Now, what the heck did you go and do that for, Senora?
Oh no. Oh no.
I did what one should do with garbage. It is better that the world never see such horrors.
That's not very nice.
Now, who the heck said you should go ripping up your art? Where's that should coming from?
It is the destiny of trash
Like
to
a
be
mess.
discarded. What happens if we leave rubbish sitting around?
Yeah, that's her.
My husband used to leave his filthy chicken bones everywhere. Wife, do not tell me what I should do. The dogs will clean it up. He invited maggots into my beautiful home. Are you suggesting that I was wrong to say we should have thrown away his disgusting refuse?
Now, come on, Senora. Comparing something you should do to be clean and healthy ain't the same as saying you should trash your artwork. If you want to see real horror, ask me to draw anything other than my gun. I mean, what are you really looking for here, Senora? You looking to bring this fella to life with your brush? You think if you don't produce something completely perfect, it's garbage?
Yes. I apply the same standards to myself as I do to everyone else. Leonardo da Vinci once painted an illustration of my city of Mantua for me. It was beautiful. Leonardo had a mastery over art that modern mortals will never understand. But it was full of imperfections. The shape of one of the windows was wrong. The clouds looked slightly unnatural. I lit the painting on fire rather than let him embarrass himself. So why would I choose to embarrass myself?
You lit a Leonardo da Vinci on fire?
I lit rubbish on fire. Da Vinci painted it, but it was still rubbish.
Dang, that fella must have been terrified of you.
He was, though he had no reason to be. All he had to do was be better. It had nothing to do with me.
Senora, this need for perfection you've got, it ain't doing good things for you.
How can you say this? By demanding perfection, I improve the work of others. I improve the work of myself.
I feel like I'm being called out a little bit.
Well, maybe that's true, but you're doing something less useful.
Just a tiny bit.
And what is that?
You're promoting unrealistic standards?
Senora, your standards are way too high. There ain't no way anyone can reach them.
So you keep saying. But there is nothing wrong with setting a high standard. The problem is the low standards of others. It is shameful to not strive for greatness. I will not tolerate your setting low standards. You will not disgrace my presence with shallow thoughts. Am I understood?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not as bad as her, obviously, but, you know, feel like, oh, everyone should always strive to become the best person that they can be. And if you don't strive for that, I think poorly of you, get it? That sort of thing. Like, I feel like self-improvement is such a big thing for someone to should do in their lives.
Yes, ma'am. No, wait, I meant to say... Senora, I gotta be honest here. You're terrifying everyone. You're terrifying your artists, your family, even yourself. Failure's a part of life. If imperfection's a mortal sin to you, ain't nobody gonna let you in on their imperfections. Not you, not your husband, and not your son neither.
How dare you? How dare you lecture me, peasant?
Oh my god.
How dare you suggest that I was anything less than the perfect mother to my Federico? You worm! Ho sputato sulla tomba di tua madre! Vi maledico alle vele più profonde dell'inferno! Federico loved me! He knew that I knew what was best for him! Pull out your cognitive distortions now and I will tear your head from your neck!
I ain't never said Federico didn't love you. All I was saying was...
Zitto! Shut up, fool! You presume to tell me what I know. You,
Oh
a
my
common
God.
murderer! You who can barely speak your own language! I demanded perfection from my Federico so that he would not end up like his father, a degenerate leper whose penis hung by a thread of putrescent skin!
The best thing you can do here is have no reaction whatsoever.
I do not tolerate imperfection! Not from myself, not from this world, and not from my son!
You know what, Senora? If you want to have that kind of control, you're gonna have it all by your lonesome. I'm trying to help you, and you're screaming at me. Why? Because you can't stand being wrong? If I'm too scared to talk to you, what the hell are we doing here? What do you want me to do, lie to you? I ain't gonna do that, Isabella d'Este. If you're looking for perfection, you're only gonna find liars, and that ain't me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you are right. Oh, Federico, what have I done?
Hey, it's okay, Senora.
He barely spoke to me when he came back from the Vatican. Every time I asked him how he was, he would say, "I am fine, mother." Of course he knew better than to talk to me. His father never did. No doubt it was I who drove them into the brothels.
Isabella is assuming her husband's decisions were entirely to do with her, but he was a human with his...
Of course he knew better than to talk.
I think that's simplifying things a little, Senora. Your boys made their own decisions. There probably were a lot of reasons they went to the brothels, but putting it all on yourself just ain't accurate. You couldn't read their minds or control their behaviors.
Perhaps not. But I am certain their whores did not criticize them as I did. I was only trying to make them demand better of themselves. Why did the world punish me for this?
Man.
It can be depressing in
I was only...
Senora, you weren't being punished. The world doesn't give out rewards and punishments on its own, no matter what we're intending. And it definitely ain't singling you out.
Of course. The world does not care for Isabella d'Este. Good intentions count for nothing.
Now come on. Senora, you're going to extremes again. Good intentions can be their own reward.
Oh, Sam, you are a simpleton. A wonderful, kind, wise simpleton.
Thanks, I guess.
I read my Wikipedia page, you know. It was full of lies and slander. No doubt this is how history remembers me, with slander I have earned.
I have read the Signora's Wikipedia page, and I believe this is somewhat of an
I read my Wikipedia page, you know.
I have read the Signora's
I
don't think a single Wikipedia page is going to determine how humanity remembers you, Senora. You're one of the most interesting, intelligent people I've ever met. And I bet loads of historians out there would be eager to know the real you.
Let us hope they do not discover who I am. They would be terrified of me, as you so deftly pointed out.
So let's forgive him a few mistakes, huh?
I suppose I must.
I read that Wikipedia page too, Senora. And you know how I read it? The people are in awe of you. They call you the First Lady of the Renaissance, you know.
This only proves that Machiavelli was right. That if one cannot be loved and feared, it is best to be feared.
I think you're a little too down on yourself today, Senora. But here's what I think of Isabella d'Este.
Ambitious.
You're ambitious as hell. From what you told me, it sounds like being a woman in your time wasn't an easy thing. But you proved you were capable of anything, and people had to respect that. Hell, you even ran your own city. You're gutsier than any man I've ever known.
I am not sure I like this gutsy word very much, but I suppose I did well for my time.
Senora, you did well for any time, believe me.
I think you're very smart.
You are so dang smart, Senora. I don't think people these days get an education like yours, and you took it seriously. You know about art, music, philosophy, religion.
Of course, I know much about physics, biology, and mathematics as well. Do not think me simply a woman of the arts.
See what I mean? I'm only 200-some years old, and I think it's going to take me another 200 to know half the stuff you know. You should be proud, Senora.
I think it's gonna make me go down the list. Caring.
You know what? You come off as pretty harsh. I think we can agree on that. But you're a caring person. You want the best for the people you care about, no matter how hard it is on you. You literally gave your life to care for your family.
No one has ever called me a caring person before.
Am I wrong? Going through death for family seems like you care a lot.
A little too much, perhaps.
I ain't gonna disagree with you there.
You look great, miss.
Pardon me for saying so, but I see why people were falling over themselves to paint you. You got grace and style such like I ain't never seen back home, not even at a fancy cotillion. Those ladies would probably kill to have your fashion sense.
Well, thank you for saying so, Sam. It is gratifying to know that my eye for fashion is noted. I certainly know how to wear a hat.
Well, that thing looks great on you. I doubt I could wear it half as well.
That is certainly true. You have been so kind to me. Kinder than I have been to you.
I think we did it. I got an achievement.
You deserve kindness. And you deserve to give yourself some kindness too.
No one has ever spoken to me the way you do. I suppose I never allowed them to. Sam, I know I am old. I know I am difficult. But would you ever consider a woman such as I?
Senora, I'm here to help you on your personal journey. Let's not complicate that.
Of course. I am just being foolish. I am so used to people being afraid of me that, of course, I fall for the first person who is not.
I feel a little pity for her for that.
Senora, I think if you can learn to give people a little room, they're gonna adore you.
What if they see me as weak if I am gentle? What if my bearing was the thing that earned me respect? I do not wish to be discarded and ignored like so many women of my time.
Senora, I don't think anyone could discard and ignore you. You don't exactly fade into the background, you know. You're pulling back a little and letting people make their mistakes doesn't make you weak. And it definitely ain't gonna make them discard you. I'm a pretty gentle fella. You don't think I'm weak, do you?
No, I do not.
So don't go thinking you are, all right? I'm not saying you gotta be meek, Senora. I reckon that ain't in your nature. I'm just saying to start with compassion. People are doing their best out there, and they deserve your understanding when they ain't perfect. Same goes for you. Don't go ripping up your art because it ain't perfect. Nobody's expecting that from you or anyone, not even Da Vinci.
Yes, I suppose I must resign to the truth. I am powerless before inevitable imperfection. I suppose the Calvinists were right.
I don't know.
If Senora d'Este cannot dominate, she sees herself as having no power.
Yes, I suppose I must...
Now don't go running in the opposite direction, Senora. That ambition comes from you. Not everyone's got it. So, keep striving to be better. Just give yourself a little compassion when you don't meet those super high standards you got. And there ain't nothing wrong with holding other people to a high standard neither. We ain't gonna be gods, but it's good to have ideals.
I believe you are wiser than I, Sam Walls. It is most humbling.
A slow horse who can still get his carrots is quicker than the ones who run past him.
And then you say something like that, and I am no longer quite so humbled.
Don't be humbled by me, Senora. I'm a simple man, just a more honest one these days. Look, let's remember what brought you in here in the first place. You saw that Space Wars movie and all its problems, right? I want to give you a challenge. I want you to find a piece of art to like. Anything. A painting, some music, a movie, heck, even a video game. And you enjoy that thing for what it is, not hate it for what it isn't.
Video games are not art.
Do you know that, Senora? I bet there's lots of video games with redeeming value. One of my clients plays a whole bunch of them.
I do not think they are for me.
Oh god, imagine turning her into a gamer.
Well, fair enough. Just find something, and we can talk about it next time. You can use the internet. I hear it's full of lists of things people like.
Very well. I will do this then. Sam, thank you for being so kind to me.
Well, I'll thank you to join me in being kind to you, okay, Senora? I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes. Well then. Goodbye, Sam. Until we meet again.
Adios, Senora.
Well, well. A confession of love from the First Lady of the Renaissance.
I know, right?
Oh, shucks, she ain't in love with me.
I know, I am teasing. But
I
I
know,
am
right?
impressed, Samuel. You warmed her dead heart.
Yeah, FF14 is definitely some sort of form of art. At least I think so.
It was touch and go there for a bit. I thought she really was gonna rip my head off.
But you were not afraid, as she said. They make strong men in the American West.
Tough living will do that to you, sure enough.
Then let us relax. I hear you were dancing the other night.
Oh, nuts.
Do not be embarrassed, Samuel, but let us go downstairs. The night is still young and there's much to celebrate.
All right, Andy. I think I'm game for a little R&R.
Crimson Sweet Sanguine. Tonight we are celebrating.
It turns out I was right that the Signora hadn't let her real anger out yet. Damn near ripped my head off tonight. But she's feeling her feelings. Sorry. Seems to have accepted that she could have loved her son without controlling him. Now blames herself for pushing her husband and son away. Afraid of being forgotten or just remembered as a mean lady. Poor Signora. I think tonight was good, but hard for her. From here on in, we gotta start focusing on what brings her and her alone satisfaction. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I am pouring us all some shots. Verona Virgin 1492. A taste of a different time.
You know I don't like drinking anything but fresh, Andy.
I know, dearest. This is a rare occasion. Samuel here was able to help a 500-year-old let go of her anger. So let us toast her age. To the Renaissance.
Ugh, that tastes like dirt.
Yuck, I think mine had a clot in it.
That's disgusting.
It's not very good, is it? Oh well. Then let us instead toast leaving the past where it belongs.
I think I've had my fill of the past tonight already.
I've got a better idea.
Is that so? Of course, my dearest. I'm delighted for you to share yourself.
I'd like a little privacy. Come on, cowboy. Follow me to the kink room.
Oh.
Hi, how are you?
Smile, Samuel. You have the favor of a very special woman. It has been too long since I tended my own bar. Go have fun.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, Andy, you have a good night.
Hey, cowboy.
Hi, Crimson.
Look, handsome. There's a reason I wanted to get you alone. Wanted to pick your brain about something.
Oh, okay. I'd say pretty good. Kind of suffering from allergies at the moment, but otherwise, just fine.
I'm hearing about all these clients of yours being stuck for hundreds of years, and I keep thinking, what if that's me? I've been half dead for 20 years. But do I want it to be 200?
Go for it, you don't have to die.
Have you talked to Andy about this?
Yeah, but he's 3,000 years old. 20 years to him is like a month. I'm getting a little jealous of your vamps, if I'm honest. They're all moving forward, but I'm stuck in the same place. I've got Andy keeping me alive, but I'm not sure I'm living. The way I see it, either I decide my time's up, or I decide to become a vampire. So I wanted to ask, what's your favorite thing about living forever?
How would I put this? If I was a vampire. The freedom it gives you?
One of the best things about being a vampire is the freedom to go your own way. Short-term concerns stop mattering. You know all them things will pass. Even a life sentence in prison don't mean much when you live endless lifetimes. You can do what you want, because the consequences probably ain't gonna be worse than death. Crimson, in the end, this is your decision. And you gotta decide for your own reasons.
I know. You're right, Sam. It's helpful to get a youngster's perspective, though. Now, are we gonna get to biting?
Oh, okay.
We're still doing that.
Of course we are. Get in here, cowboy.
Alright.
That is something else.
Okay. Shut up.
Not bad, cowboy. But you don't need to bite. Just let your teeth sink in next time. If your partner is relaxed, they'll just slide right in.
Yeah, that's pretty key for biting.
Oh, well, thanks, Crimson. I'll try to remember that.
Bet you're pretty sleepy now, huh?
Well, yeah, now that you mention it.
Go get some sleep then, cowboy. And Sam, Thank you. I'm glad you're around.
Where else would I be? I'm glad to be of service, ma'am. You have a fine evening.
Samuel, good evening. How is my ever-impressive protege tonight?
Oh, that happened.
Looking forward to a night off, boss. I haven't heard from Eddie, so I was thinking about a nice hot bath.
An excellent idea. A little self-care goes a long way. I do have bubble bath if you would like to borrow some.
Andromachos the Mighty uses bubble bath, huh? I wouldn't have guessed.
There is only one type of human who does not like bubbles.
Liars?
Well, I was going to say werewolves, but I suppose it is the bath part they dislike, not the bubbles.
What? I feel like that's offensive.
Oh, well, I ain't no liar, so I'd love some bubble bath. In fact, well, tarnation, I guess the bubble bath is postponed.
The fuck was that?
Are you ready to handle Edmund's distortions? It sounds as though they will be intense.
Well, let me think real quick.
Oh boy, this one. This one. This one. This one.
I think I got it.
Yeah. My favorite.
I suspect you have difficult
Edmund.
work ahead tonight. I wish you
The
the best
great
of luck,
Edmund
Sam.
Keene.
Thanks, Andy. Hold on, Sammy boy, here he comes.
He says that like, you know that gif of the guy looking at like the Dust Devil like tornado thing, and it's like, here it comes. That's really how I feel right now.
Hey, Eddie.
Oh wow, hello.
Do you like my costume, Sam?
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Well, sure. Did you come right from that production you were talking about last time?
Yes. I flew right here after the performance. I had to tell you how it went.
So, how did it go?
You should have been there. You could have seen how the audience reacted. They loved me.
Hey, well, that's fantastic, Eddie. I was a little worried when I heard you coming. I wasn't expecting you tonight.
But why would you worry? You knew who I was. The great Edmund Keene. Of course the audience would love me.
But why are you sad?
Oh, my dear boy. How they did laugh at the great clown Piero.
Well, that's amazing, Eddie. Gave that Grimaldi fellow a run for his money, huh?
Grimaldi would have never achieved as many laughs as I clearly earned.
You don't sound too happy about it, Eddie.
Piero is supposed to be a tragic clown, but they laughed. They just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Oh, Eddie.
They laughed at my heartbreak when my wife left me for a respectable man. They laughed when I held my dying child in my arms. They laughed as I succumbed to drink, damning God for not taking me. They laughed as I slit my own throat when 'twas no trick, for I am already dead. So you see, it was all very, very funny.
I don't know how to feel about this right now.
Eddie, I'm so sorry. That reaction sounds horrifying.
No, but of course it wasn't. I believe this role was made for me. It was made so that people could laugh at me. So laugh, my dear boy. Laugh.
The part Edmund played is far older than he is. I do not think its writers could foresee.
No,
The part Edmund played.
no, but of course it
Is
wasn't.
it personalization?
I believe this.
Eddie, I know you're hurting
okay.
right now. I know people can be cruel, but they ain't looking to be cruel to you in particular. That's one of them cognitive distortions. Personalization. It means,
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Don't tell me a fucking thing about cognitive distortions! Do you think I don't know what they are?
Alright, keep calm, guys.
Do you think I do not employ each and every one, every single moment of every single day? I am a professional liar, but no lie is so carefully constructed as that of Edmund Kean. You told me to deal with reality as it is. So be it. This is Edmund Kean, a minstrel, a jester, a fool, a clown. A clown whose greatest joke is to pretend for even a moment that he is not one.
Oh my god. He's becoming the entire circus.
But you see, my dear boy, all that is impressive about Edmund Kean is just illusion. It has always been an illusion. That is what the stage is, but it is my life as well.
Edmund is now rejecting his entire existence.
But you...
I don't believe that for a second, Eddie. We're the sum of our experiences, and you bring something to that stage no one else can. Maybe if you were a robot, we'd be having a different conversation. But you're disqualifying the positive things you bring, not just to the stage, but in yourself.
Honeyed words will never be sweet enough to mask the taste of truth, my dear boy. There is no Edmund Kean, only a pile of lies. Go ahead and ask me, therapist. Ask me, who is Edmund Kean? Nay, do not ask. I will tell you. Edmund Kean is nothing. There is no Edmund Kean. I have never met the man, or even the boy. I have known Shylock, Richard III, Hamlet, Lear, Othello, Macbeth, Romeo, Cupid. But people loved all of those characters. Wherefore would they love Edmund? Edmund had to become a character as well. And I have played Edmund for so long that naught lies beneath. A hollow man sits before you. As other vampires have said, what is a man anyway? A miserable pile of secrets, a mountain of pretty lies.
Eddie, that ain't true, and I'll tell you why.
We all lie?
We all lie, Eddie. Deep down, we're all still scared animals who can't tell the difference between a booing audience and a lion ripping out our throats. For all the time my blood was pumping, I played a tough guy. Slaughtering Sam, they called me. I like that name. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it made me feel safe. Under that grizzled exterior, I was still just a scared little boy. But that little boy was me, Eddie.
You understand me? Though we have played different parts, the character underneath is the same, perhaps. Do you remember that I played Cupid as a boy?
That was your breakout role, right?
I learned that if I smiled and spoke sweetly, people would view me as something other than street trash. I wouldn't have to go hungry. I wouldn't have to be sold to some bloated factory owner. Edmund Kean was worthless to anyone. Another mouth to feed, another body to clothe. So I knew I had to make him disappear. I thought if I suppressed Edmund and became the character the public wanted, I would be rewarded. But this illusion, this character of Edmund Kean, he has brought me to such unspeakable depths. Do you know why I sought to become a vampire? Why I dwelt in dark places until the curse of immortality was given to me? I became a vampire because I was afraid that my son Charles would be a more successful actor than I was. I could not let his legacy overtake mine. I had to be sure that I was the Kean that would be remembered.
Dang, Eddie. That's a lot.
Yes, I have been monstrous. I needed to be the most beloved. I needed my every demand fulfilled. I had my own pet lion. I rode my horse indoors. I flew into a rage if anyone denied me sexual gratification. As an immortal, my fears have made me even more terrible. How many promising young actors I have killed because I felt they threatened my legacy. So many lives cut short because I, and I alone, know what acting must be.
Is it this?
But you know that ain't true,
Okay.
don't you? You can't know everything about acting. Acting is all about the human experience, right? You said it yourself. You're one man with one set of experiences. You can't represent all of human experience on your own.
Of course I knew that. And that is why I had to kill them. They threatened Edmund Keene, and for that, they had to die. I could not face the idea that they would bring something to the stage that I could not. Indeed, the very reason I am wearing these clothes is because I could not bear the idea that Grimaldi brought something to the stage that I could not. Do you see how pathetic I am? I am battling a man who has been dead for almost 200 years. The audience was right. I am a most laughable creature. I know what they are thinking, what they have always thought. Look at the fool actor. Look how he debases himself by begging
This
for
looks
our
like pretty
approval.
obvious mind reading.
Eddie, you don't know what they're thinking. At all. We've been going over this for months now. All you know is what you know. You're concerning yourself with the thoughts of everyone else that you can't even know. It ain't no wonder that you got no sense of self.
Yes, you're right. I see that now. This monster that is Edmund Keene was created for the audience, but I do not know them. I believe 'twas not my talents that earned the adoration of the public. Perhaps they only ever loved me because I demanded they do so.
I don't think that's true.
You're going to extremes again, Eddie. Again, you don't know what an audience is thinking. Disqualifying the positive things an audience might see is just as unrealistic as thinking everyone thought you were the greatest actor of all time. Well, the good news, Eddie, is that you can't just demand someone to love you. If they had nothing to gain from being Edmund Keene fans, why were they Edmund Keene fans?
I suppose.
The important thing here is accept things as they are, compadre.
I cannot accept things as they are, my dear boy. How can I? How can I accept that I have forced everyone around me to confirm my lie of an existence? How can I accept the people I defiled to satisfy my ego? The son I was relieved to see die? The blood I have spilled to sustain my legacy? The lie is all I have, and all I know. I have done such evil to protect it. So much is my poverty of spirit, so mighty, and yet with so many defects, in the vapor of my own glory smothered. No, my dear boy, what is done cannot be now amended. The child Edmund is buried, and this grim-visaged, wretched creature is all that remains.
Eddie, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You've done some truly awful stuff, and fear doesn't excuse the dastardly deeds you done. The shit you done ain't never going away.
Yes, go on, kick me, jeer, laugh at the vicious clown, tell him what a fool he is.
You ain't gonna play pity tricks on me or yourself. You acted like a lily-livered sumbitch, Eddie. I know that, because I've done some awful shit too. Because of my fear, I hurt scores of folks. Some strangers, some near and dear. And because of my fear, I pushed all that stuff down deep where no one could see it, just like you. I was too afraid to face myself. Once I didn't have a choice but to take a good look at myself, my first thought was that I deserved to go meet the sunrise, because I'm a coward too. But there's something else we've got in common in addition to acting like yellow bellies, Eddie. You know what it is?
What is it?
We got time, Eddie. We got time to become new people. We got time to look at ourselves honestly and say, yeah, I've been a coward, but I ain't gonna be a coward any longer. So what'll it be, Eddie? You're gonna live forever. Will you do it as a coward or as a man?
I don't know how to be a man.
So you're giving up then?
No, I cannot maintain the facade any longer. I am revealed to myself. But Sam, I never learned to be a person. I stopped being real at 8 years old. Splot! Why did my fellow actors coddle me so? Why did they let me become a monster? They could have said no, but they did not.
We ain't focusing on the people who gave in to a kid who was too big for his britches. We're focusing on you. You did some real awful things. You killed people for criticizing you or for showing talent. You resented your son's success. These are things you gotta take in.
But how can I put such things behind me?
You don't. You've gotta accept the things you've done as part of who you are. You ain't gonna erase the last 200-some years, but maybe you can use them to make a better Edmund going forward.
How? How do I introduce myself as a demanding megalomaniac? How do I introduce myself as a man who was relieved to see his own son die? How do I introduce myself as a man who demanded the entire world get on their knees to satisfy his ego?
Well, I wouldn't exactly lead with that stuff. How about you introduce yourself as a man who's figuring himself out?
I suppose that is a possibility. At the least, it is not unexpected for me to be so disarrayed, It is known that we actors are all by nature an insecure people. Perhaps I need to find an identity beyond the stage. It protected me in my youth, but I do not think that it serves me any longer.
That might be worth exploring, Eddie.
But what if I am nothing without the stage? What if I seek other endeavors, but there are none for me?
You're doing some
Yeah.
Nosferatu thinking, Eddie. I've been roaming this earth around the same time as you, and what I picked up is there ain't no extremes. It ain't all or nothing. I guarantee you there's more possibilities out there for you between the grave and the stage. I mean, how long have you even looked for anything beyond the stage?
Not at all, I suppose.
Then let's hold judgment in reserve, huh?
The theater is all I know. It has been my protector all this time. Without it, I am helpless as a
I think this
swaddling
is also
babe.
disqualifying the positive. I think. No?
Edmund believes life without the stage is something he cannot handle. He is strong.
The theater is
This
all
one?
Eddie,
Oh, yeah.
come on. The stage is the thing you know, but you ain't helpless without it. I mean, maybe you're forgetting the whole superhuman strength and immortality thing that comes with being a vampire. And even besides that, you've learned a thing or two from all them Shakespeare plays beyond acting, I'm sure. You ain't a helpless little boy no more. So don't pretend you're powerless to do something new.
Yes. If anything, I certainly have keen powers of self-pity, do I not?
I wasn't gonna say it. However helpless you might feel, Eddie, remember that's just how you feel right now. That's the amazing thing about being undead. We got lots of time to make a better tomorrow. My mentor, Andy, he says that at 200 years old, we're basically toddlers by vampire standards. And we both got a lot of growing up to do.
That is a heartening thought.
If we're doing life right, Eddie, we're always growing up. The trick is not to think we're done growing.
Spoken like the bard himself. As he said, all the world's a stage, and I am barely past mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. I should be of a more mature mind, shouldn't I? Surely 237 years is old enough to be out of nappies.
We got time to grow, Eddie. Let's just be glad you're a 200-year-old baby and not a 2,000-year-old baby, huh? We'd be having a real different conversation then.
But growth to me seems nigh impossible. I have allowed my fear to guide my every sad-gutted action. My fear told me when I was threatened, which was always.
This is what I mean, Eddie. You're always in defensive mode, ready for someone to take you down. That ain't no way to live. When you're afraid of some young actor coming up and making a name for themselves, what's so scary about that anyway?
I'm afraid they will erase me. I will be just another child of the rookeries, used and discarded, of no value to anyone. No history, no legacy, no record of my existence.
But Eddie,
Yeah.
there's loads of actors out there, all with different kinds of strengths. There's legends from every era. I'm a Buster Keaton fan myself. That fella was one of a kind, just like you were. When he was doing crazy stunts on trains, he weren't no threat to Hamlet.
He was very talented. I wanted to kill him, but I never liked visiting America.
Well, I'm glad you didn't. But you see that his success didn't do anything to yours. Not every threat means your doom.
Perhaps my time has passed anyway. There was a time when the stage awaited Edmund Kean, but my death was the end of that time.
I don't know what this is. No.
I do not believe the stage waits for any.
Perhaps my time has passed
No.
I do not believe this.
Personalization?
Okay, we got some real work to
Okay.
do still. Here's the thing, Eddie. The stage wasn't waiting for you. Theater wasn't waiting for Edmund Kean to show up, and it wasn't waiting for you to die. You're used to making things about you, but the glorious, wonderful truth is, they ain't. And I got some real good news for you, hombre. You're dead. The pressure's off. All them fears are keeping you locked in time, and you can stay there as long as you like, or you can make some progress. What's it gonna be?
I am too much of a coward to die, so I suppose I must live.
I'm glad to hear that.
I believe I should go away somewhere cold and dark, where I might be alone with my thoughts.
I think that's a great idea. I did the same thing, and it changed my life. Well, my own life.
I suppose all's well that ends well. I only hope it does.
I got faith in you. As long as we're putting one foot in front of the other, that's progress.
I shall see you in a month then.
You got it, Eddie. Take care of yourself. We'll get you out of that mewling and puking stage before you know it, okay?
So it shall be. Very well. Exit Edmund Kean. Stage left.
Bravo, Samuel. I was taking notes. It seems the student has become the master.
Man, that was a lot.
Only a master of fumbling around. I knew I was taking a risk there.
You were, but perhaps such risks are justified with such an extreme personality.
I hope he finds the answers that he's looking for.
He attempted to gaslight you, but you held fast and challenged him, sternly but fairly. You have a gentle nature. That must have been difficult.
I didn't want to drive him off the edge. I just saw him close to making a breakthrough, and I didn't want him to start sinking again.
Well, you can now count yourself among a very small number of therapists who have made a breakthrough with such a one. I do not count myself among them.
And you let me handle Edmund?
I had faith in you, Samuel. You affirmed it magnificently. Now, please, go downstairs and find a friendly neck. You deserve it.
Ah, shucks. Thank you, I will.
A drink sounds mighty nice right about now. You have a good night, Andy.
Rest in peace, my dear friend.
Dang, I'm a little shaken up after that one.
Alright. Well then. That was a rough one. Eddie showed up in his clown suit. Turned out everyone just laughed at him, and that triggered something in him. He admits he's been playing a character his whole life. Eddie said some horrible stuff to protect his own reality bubble. Believes he hasn't really progressed emotionally since he was 8 years old. Has been afraid of being himself ever since he was a kid, probably from living on the streets. Eddie's got a lot of work to do, but like I told him, he's got time to do it. It's gonna be real hard though.
Never seen a man as afraid as Edmund Keene. That was tough to watch. I'm sure Crimson can lift my mood. Howdy, Crimson.
What's the matter, cowboy? You look a little paler than usual.
Oh, just had a real tough session. Watched a man who'd been wearing a mask for 200 years finally take it off, and it weren't pretty. Had to happen, though. The fella's got a long road ahead of him, but at least he's taking his first steps.
Think this'll do the trick then? I call this a bloody cowboy martini. I'm proud of you, Sam. Starting over is hard, especially when you've been spinning your wheels for a long time.
Well, that's the nice thing about being a vampire. We got time to start over.
Cheers to that.
To rebirth.
It seems you walk ever in the path of the Lord, my son.
Hey, goth priest. How's it going?
Oh, hey, Kieran.
I did not mean to intrude. I noted your discomfort and wish to offer you succor in the kink room.
You mind, Crimson?
Not at all. Go drink your fill, cowboy.
Come, my son. Now then, I heard you speak of rebirth.
Yeah, it's something we vampires have to do a lot of. I was just worried about one of my clients having trouble with their rebirth.
I know it is painful, my son. When we are born again, we leave a part of ourselves behind.
That is true.
Like the lizard who sloughs its dead skin, or the mortal who journeys into the mosh pit, we emerge purer than before.
One must break oneself down before they can reborn. In any sort of which way.
Sounds like you've got a lot of perspective on this stuff, Kieran.
I know you must have questions, my son. Please, ask.
Oh boy. Can we truly start over?
From your spiritual perspective, can we ever truly start over?
My son, you know the answer already. We beings of flesh and blood are also beings of judgment. However, we do not stand in judgment of mortals, but of ourselves. If you believe you have defeated your demons, then you have.
Yeah, that's true. Reminds me a lot of should statements. And defeating demons is pretty badass, ain't it?
Yes, it is the demons who should fear us, my son. Did you have more questions?
Do we reject ourselves if we are reborn?
Ain't being reborn just rejecting who we were? I wasn't a good guy, Kieran, but I don't want to erase my dark days.
My son, only in Christ do we truly receive absolution and become beings of pure light. Our darkness defines us. We cannot reject it, just as we cannot reject the Almighty. It is part of us. But do not be shamed by it, my son. Your darkness is beautiful and unique, as is your journey through the darkness.
Kinda sounds like disqualifying the positive to me.
Actually, it's liner notes from a metal album I'm fond of.
What?
Did you have more questions to ask?
When it's a time to start over.
From your spiritual perspective, how do we know when it's time for a rebirth?
An hour, a week, a year, a millennium. The answer, my son, is when we are ready. Only the Lord decides when that is. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away, and all is according to his will.
Well, that sounds like a control fallacy, though. We can't let someone else make our decisions for us.
My son, all your trials, the world you live in, they are all his work.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
He leads you to the truth. When he has prepared you fully, you will accept it and join him along with the dearly departed gods of metal.
Okay, buddy.
Did you have more questions for me, my son?
Nah, I think we're good.
Why ain't your lord the fire and brimstone type that's marked my kind for centuries?
The Lord did not do these things. That is the work of man. Even they work through him and face their own dark journeys. But eventually, we will all be blessed and return to his bosom to rock for all eternity. It is not for man to judge.
Well, I've got a lady who would love to meet you. I think a few men of the cloth did her dirty.
Men will ever seek power. But I know some simply seek blood. Are you ready to receive succor, my son?
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Yeah, but I really wish you'd stop calling it that. That is enlightening.
Ew.
There. May you be sustained and fulfilled. May you shepherd your lost sheep, as I shepherd the children of the night.
You're a one-of-a-kind dude, Kieran. But thanks for the drink and the talk. You have a fine night.
Godspeed, my son.
Good evening, Samuel. You are seeing your ancient client tonight, are you not?
Okay, save. And let's continue.
Yeah, that's right. I hope she's doing okay. I'm worried about her and that whole algorithm thing.
Oh yeah, the Eldritch algorithm
I
guy.
had a little consultation with some other elder vampires. We have developed a theory, though I hope we are wrong. We believe the algorithm is a demon, known to few, named Raziel. Even I have only ever heard whispers of his name.
Interesting, interesting.
In mythology, he is a fallen angel, believed to have recorded every action, every change of state for all things on this earth into a great book. This book of knowledge he shared with the first mortals. But mortals were not designed to process so much information at once. They made judgments and reinforced behavior based on information they could not understand. Raziel watched as the mortals inevitably used the book to suppress free will, and he was cast down for his terrible mistake. We believe that Raziel has returned. Perhaps he believes that with computers, he can attempt to pass infinite knowledge to humanity once more.
Okay, okay.
Terrible things will happen if this comes to pass. I would urge great caution, Samuel. Find out what you can about this algorithm. We may have dark work to do.
What the hell? Fallen angels? Ancient books of knowledge? What the heck have I walked into? We don't have this kind of shit in America.
I'm pretty sure we do, but alright.
I am old enough to be mythological myself, Samuel. Myth often contains truth. The important question is how much. We do not know what effect he may have had on Mehdi, but do not worry. Show her the same compassion you show all your clients, and that will open any doors that can open.
All right, I better prepare for this one. Sounds like it might be a doozy.
Okay, let's do this shit.
Nice.
Howdy, Mitty. It's good to see you. How you feeling tonight?
Not well, sweetling. Not well at all.
Oh no, what's going on? I know you were feeling all stressed about your numbers on that glitch site.
They doxed me. Do you know what doxing is, my whispery
Oh, that's
friend?
horrible.
It's when mortals find out where you live, where you sleep, so they can hurt you.
I'm gonna wish that on my worst enemy.
A group of vampire hunters came looking for me. They were really mean, but they're all dead now. I'm much happier. But it was very inconvenient. Now I have to move, and it is very difficult to set up my lighting to make me look alive.
Dang, Mitty, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful.
It's worse. I will not be able to use my computer for a week. How am I going to upload my content? My fans and zealots are all so impatient. They're sure to leave me if I don't provide them with their content.
Nosferatu thinking?
So, how many of these followers and zealots have you got, Mitty?
Perhaps 2 million zealots and 90 million followers on Glitch.
And how many of them do you think you'll actually lose if you don't upload lots of content?
The algorithm has already told me that I will lose millions of followers.
So let's go ahead and listen to the algorithm. If you lose millions of followers, it ain't anywhere near 90 million. It's doing a bit of overgeneralization and catastrophizing to think they're all gonna leave you high and dry. Heck, maybe the folks who stay are the ones what you can really count on.
What you can really count on?
What?
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 Never mind.
Oh, never mind.
You said what?
I was trying to say that the people who don't mind you not uploading so much might be better folk to keep around.
It's not up to me, little mice. It's not up to them either. Even the little bloodbags who love me won't get to see me if I don't provide them content.
I don't get it. Why wouldn't they see it? Is the mailman or whatever not delivering your messages?
You're very funny. No, the algorithm decides who sees my content. If I give it content, it will make people like me more. If I stop feeding it, it shuns me.
Mitty, I gotta say, that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship.
Oh, no, it's my friend, I should think. As long as I keep producing content for it, it draws the juicy mortals to me.
How many mortals do you need, though, really?
Well, if I'm to feel safe, I should like to have more of them always.
That's a shit statement, she said shared.
Mitty should
Why not?
understand that her
Okay.
feelings of safety or of lack of safety are ever changing and may not reflect reality.
Then...
Well, if I'm to feel
Black
safe,
and white thinking?
I should...
Okay.
Mitty should
Emotional
understand.
reasoning.
Pardon my saying so,
All right.
miss, but you're giving yourself a heck of a goal. Your gut's telling you to want something that's nigh impossible to get.
My guts don't talk, silly mouse. Except when I've had too much blood to drink. Medi, what have you done to me?
I'm trying to say that your feelings ain't ever gonna let you feel safe if that follower count needs to keep going up.
I gain more followers and zealots every month. I need them. One of them has agreed to let me eat him and I'll take over his flat. They're quite useful.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you actually like any of these followers or zealots? Or are they all just food or servants?
What a silly question, little mouse. Of course I don't like them. I always know what they're like. You forget how old I really am.
It is overgeneralization.
Oh, now I gotta challenge you on that, miss. I know you got a lot of followers and zealots or whatever they're called, but that don't mean you know all of them. Now, I'm sure you know a lot about mortals on them websites you're using, but that ain't all mortals, and all mortals ain't them.
It's not just them, though. I
told you about how they killed me. About how they plucked my eye out. Pop!
I'm saying, can you know that you're always right about mortals?
I wouldn't like to prove that I am.
But these mortals, you're talking to them every day. You got all these folks at your beck and call. They're the people you talk to.
That's right.
But you don't have a real relationship with any of them?
Why would I want to have a relationship with my food? You really are quite a silly Whiskers.
Medi, I'm saying the only relationships you've got are with what you're calling your food.
But that's what they are. They're food. Delicious, delicious food. Food that sometimes does heavy lifting and computer work, but still, food.
Medi, it sounds like you're in a bit of a codependent relationship with your food. And maybe with this algorithm fella.
Oh, but it's not a fellow. And it's not a lady either.
So it's non-binary?
No, it claims that it is entirely binary. All ones and zeros. Does speak very strangely sometimes.
Well, whatever they are, seems like as soon as they showed up, you stopped having any real friends.
I wouldn't have time for friends anyway. The algorithm says that I should always provide content to my community, and that takes all night.
Should statement?
So why do you think the algorithm has that should?
It just knows. It knows everything.
Well, let's say that it does know everything. Why does that mean that we should let it tell us what to do? Can it know everything and still make mistakes?
That I do not know.
That's what I'm trying to say. But here's the thing, this algorithm, it might have all the information, but that doesn't mean it's got all the answers.
You don't know it like I do. Do you know what I really like about the algorithm, little mice? Unlike the ancient gods the old clans used to worship, or the Abrahamic gods that came after, it treats us equally. If we provide content, we will be rewarded.
Let's talk about these rewards. You say it rewards you with more mortal souls, right?
Highly engaged mortal souls, ready to serve me, should I need them.
But you said you had souls already back in the pre-social media days, right? And you didn't need 90 million of them.
That's true, but it does make me feel quite special when the number goes up.
Is that number going up good for you, though? Not just the stress of managing all them folks, but drawing the attention of vampire hunters. Would you be doing any of this stuff if the algorithm wasn't demanding it?
Did ask me to play a game that I did not like very much the other night, and I pretended to enjoy it. It's called Call of Nationalism. It's all about men who are proud to be angry, which I find very upsetting.
See, that's just what I'm talking about. What about what you want? Did you get to that knitting you wanted to do?
No. I had to play the terrible game about insecure man-worms.
Insecure man-worms? What does that mean?
I don't know what to do. I know that I spend too much time on the internet, but I can't live the life I used to live. I would live out in the wilds again, but there are no wilds any longer. When I walk the streets, city folks stare because they sense my true nature.
Mind reading.
Many of them mortals have got a ton of things on their minds. Most likely, they ain't too concerned about whatever you are. They ain't your zealots or followers, they're just regular mortals. You can't read their minds, and you can't assume they're only thinking about you. Unless you can read minds.
You raise an excellent point for a cute little whisker face. No, I can't read their minds. Can't imagine how a mortal must think. Oh, very silly job. Oh, politics. Oh, grim spectre of death. I must drink alcohol in order to have sex. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum.
Well, you ain't too far off.
The experiences I've had with mortals have not been happy ones. My pink-nosed, scrabbly-clawed, long-tailed friend.
Well, these mouse descriptions are getting kind of long.
You just don't understand what a mouse you are. It's the mortal's fault I must lock myself away in my flat. It's the mortal's fault that I have to use the internet to survive.
I don't think that's true. No?
Medi has had some part to play in the life she leads, whether
It's the mortal's fault.
Medi has had
Black
some
and white
part to
thinking?
play in the life she...
It's the mortal's fault.
Medi has had...
It's the mortal...
Let's be straight shooters here, miss.
Oh, huh.
At least some of the responsibility
shit
for being
statement.
holed up in that flat with nothing but a computer is yours. I ain't saying that mortals didn't have their part in taking away your home in the wilderness, but they didn't force you to lock yourself away. That's a should you made up.
You can be a very mean little mouse sometimes. Mice are supposed to be kind and sweet.
I ain't trying to be mean, miss. I'm just saying you're leaving out your own contribution to the problem. I'm not saying it's all your fault.
Would you be very fond of mortals who did this to you?
Well, no, I wouldn't. And I didn't say you should. But you gotta admit, you're giving a lot of time and energy to people you don't like. You're resenting them, and I can't blame you.
Of course I resent them. They're all quite awful. Any one of them would hurt me if given the chance.
Overgeneralization?
Maybe I gotta say, that's some Nosferatu thinking. You've been around a lot longer than me, long enough to know there's almost nothing that's all good or all bad. I know we both spend a lot of time in nature, and nature has a good way of disavowing us of our more extreme beliefs and overgeneralizations.
I suppose that's true. I once saw a wolf and a deer having a romantic relationship. Well, at least there was quite a lot of licking involved.
Oh, I didn't see nothing like that, but maybe I would have if I'd stayed in the wilderness longer. Let me ask you a question. If you're thinking all these followers of yours are a certain way, what if you're right?
Very frustrating, Silly Whiskers. You keep telling me that I'm doing cognitive distortions, and then you say they're correct.
Well, I'm just wondering about these mortals the algorithm sends your way. What does it say about you that makes them check you out in the first place?
Well, I suppose it shows them that I'm pretty, and that I play video games they like. And they might get to see my body parts.
Do they know that you're clever and funny? Do they know that you've got more life experience than they could ever reckon?
There's no time to talk about that kind of thing, Silly. They scroll past streamers very quickly. I have less than a second to make an impression. That's what the algorithm tells me.
So you got all these millions of mortals following you because you're easy on the eyes and like some of the same video games they like?
More like easy on the eye.
Okay, I get it. But the point is, if the algorithm is sending mortals your way based on good looks and some video games, you ain't getting people who like you for you. You're getting mortals who want content, not medi. Frankly, it ain't no surprise that you don't have much respect for them.
You're very sweet, little mouse. But the algorithm knows what mortals want, and it's not me. They want my body and my video games. I don't have anything else they want.
Maybe... mind reading?
Maybe far as I can tell, the algorithm doesn't know anything worth a damn if it thinks mortals all want the same thing. Worse, it's making you say things like, I don't have anything folks want. You're disqualifying the positive things about yourself they're all missing out on. Pardon my saying so, miss, but you are weird as heck. You don't sound like anyone I've ever met. You think of things in ways no one else does. Mitty, you're as interesting as it gets. Don't let this stupid algorithm reduce you to your looks and the games it tells you to play. It's insulting all that you are as a unique individual.
I understand what you're trying to say, Willy Whiskers McMouseface III, but you don't know the algorithm as I do. It doesn't insult anyone. It just collects all the information about everyone and everything, recognizes patterns, and shows me what those patterns are. What it decides is important is based on the thoughts of every human who has ever been online. It truly knows the will of mortals because it knows all mortals.
Overgeneralization?
What it's doing is overgeneralizing,
Okay.
Mitty. How the heck can all of humanity be reduced to formulas? It can't. So what's it doing? It's shaping humanity by reinforcing what folks are already paying attention to. It's telling you to play Call of Nationalism and rely on sex appeal. It's telling the mortals to only care about them things that are popular already. Don't explore. Don't appreciate things that are weird and unique. If this algorithm gets what it wants, what'll happen? Earth will be the most boring place in the universe. Mitty, this algorithm doesn't appreciate you, and it's teaching you not to appreciate yourself.
You're right, little mouse. Oh, I am forgetting myself. I think I don't want to feel lonely anymore. I want to be liked.
You ain't gonna be happy if you're being liked for being some boring idea of what someone else thinks you should be.
I really have been very silly, haven't I? The algorithm isn't nice at all, I think.
I'm glad you're getting that this algorithm is abusing you. I don't want to see it change what makes you special.
But I won't have anyone. I'll be alone.
Challenger.
You were alone already, Medi. These relationships you've got online with all these faceless mortals, they ain't real. Those friends you had a few years ago, they sounded real.
I suppose I could send them all an email. Do you think they'll remember me?
There was something about you all that made you join that web ring or whatever it was called. I don't know, but I bet they'd be happy to hear from you.
I think I will send them a message. They were all very strange, like me.
We're all strange, Medi. We're all individuals. Maybe they were just your kind of strange.
You are very sweet, little mouse. I could give you some of my zealots if you like. They'll do what I tell them to do.
Well, that's okay. I'm happy letting them live their lives freely. They deserve to find out what they actually like, too.
You are very soft and squishy for a vampire. But I will message my old friends.
And if you're gonna do this streaming thing, try streaming things you honestly enjoy. Make a new account, be yourself, and see who shows up.
I think I will do that. I'll keep my only zealots, though. They can be very useful.
You do what's best for you. And don't let anyone but you make that decision.
You are so very sweet. Are you sure I can't take you home and let you run on a wheel all night?
I'm pretty sure. I'll see you next month then, right? I want to hear all about how you're handling your weird self.
Oh, but you are a very, very naughty mouse with a very dirty mouse mind.
I didn't mean it like that.
You are very funny. I will see you in a month then. Now, I shall become a mouse too, but with wings.
Excellent work,
I
Samuel.
think we did really well.
I cannot know for sure, but I believe Medi understands the source of her
I think we're
discomfort.
helping her quite a bit.
You think this Raziel is gonna get upset at losing her?
If I understand correctly, Raziel has no power if he is ignored, but he is unusually tempting to listen to. It sounds as though he has the mortals quite beguiled, and many of our kin as well. But you give me faith that he can be defeated, one individual at a time if need be.
I ain't never defeated a dark god before.
There is a first time for everything, my dear Samuel. After all, haven't you been dancing?
You really gotta bring that up, huh?
Mostly for the reaction. Now, my friend, make sure you get something to drink. You shall not have trouble finding willing necks, I am sure. You are becoming quite the celebrity at Immernacht.
Beating fallen angels is thirsty work. I'm ready for a drink.
Slake your thirst then, my friend. Rest in peace.
Funny to think vampires being born now are growing up with the internet. We're gonna have to reckon with that someday.
Okay, let's see what this was. I think we had a breakthrough today. Seems Betty's overgeneralizations and the algorithm's overgeneralizations are a deadly combination. Many assumptions about mortals were being confirmed by the algorithm, not reality. She was letting the algorithm determine what value humanity saw in her. She realizes that the algorithm was making her into a boring person. I think Manny gets what the internet's been doing to her. She's going to get in touch with some old friends, and I think that's a great idea. That's good.
I hope Maddie's realized that being herself is the best person she can be. Well, speaking of which, I should go check on Crimson. Hey, Crimson, what's on tap tonight?
Take a look around, cowboy. There's plenty to drink.
Well, maybe I'll go looking for a donor. Just figured I'd say howdy to my pal Crimson first.
Well, howdy, sharpshooter. You look like you're in a good mood tonight.
Yeah, I guess I am. You know that ancient client I told you about? I think she's finally realizing that some people are gonna appreciate her for being who she is. Maybe she ain't gonna have 100 million fans, but the people who genuinely like her will be there for her.
How's your blood sugar, honey? I think you're a little too sweet.
Oh, come on now.
I've been thinking a lot about exactly what you're saying. Folks in DC didn't much like my style, but I'm not sure why I cared.
Don't beat yourself up over it. I think we all do the same thing. Easier to do what other folk are doing than blaze a trail, right?
I'm not sure it is easier if we're fighting ourselves the whole time.
That's some real wisdom right there.
Anyway, thanks for making me think. I think I'm done spinning my wheels.
Excuse me, I wish to speak with you, vampire, in the kink room.
Oh boy, it's that girl again.
I think my dinner's calling. I'll see you later, Crimson.
Ciao, Tex.
You know, I have seen what you are doing. I see all.
So you mentioned Panoptabella, and what am I doing?
I see that you change people. You make them stronger, more confident, more comfortable.
I'm pretty sure they're doing all that themselves.
No, that is not what I see. I see that without you, they repeat their actions over and over again. Usually, I can see the future because people repeat themselves. But you make the future uncertain. I do not like what I cannot see.
Well, why do you need to see everything anyway, Panoptabella? Ain't it exhausting?
To see all is to see danger and avoid it. I see that you wish to say something, but are holding back.
Well, I try to do my therapy stuff just in therapy. It ain't right to be analyzing folk without their consent.
Then consent is given. To see all is to see danger and avoid it.
Control fallacy, so that's the only option.
Well, see, what that is a control fallacy. It's a kind of cognitive distortion. The future's always got elements we can't count on. You can be prepared to a certain extent, but you ain't ever gonna know everything. You can only see what's in front of you, after all.
Interesting. Then what do you believe I should do?
Well, just that. See what's in front of you. See how you feel about right now, not yesterday or tomorrow. Right now, you can see.
I see. Yes, I see that. I would like you to drink from my neck right now.
See, that wasn't so hard.
I see more clearly,
Okay.
vampire. I thank you.
Thanks.
And I thank you for the blood.
I hope your torpor is most satisfying. I shall see myself out.
Oh, yeah. Good night, Panoptabella. I think that was a pretty successful night. Coffin time for old Sam.
Well, if it isn't the gunslinging guru of mental health himself, good evening, Samuel.
Good evening.
It seems you have made quite a reputation for yourself in a very short time.
It's hard to believe I've only been here in Germany for 6 months. In that short time, I think I've grown more than I have in the last 200-some years.
You are quite correct, Samuel. It is truly gratifying to see you grow and change. Of course, our mental health journeys never quite end, do they? I am sure you still have much to talk about, but let us first take a moment to breathe and meditate.
That sounds like a good idea. Give me a chance to center myself.
Very good. Now close your eyes and enter your place of comfort.
Isabella d'Este. I wonder. Nah, how was Andy squeezing to that suit anyway? Is Raziel listening in on our conversation? Princess to the rescue! I sure am a lily-livered cow.
Why is it giving me a... Oh shit, my thing's still plugged in. I forgot I had a controller plugged in.
Cognitive distortion left and do-si-do. What am I doing hiding out in Germany? Why'd you do this to me, Ernie? You keep running, Sammy boy. You dummy, Sam. Loving your horse more than your kin. The United States needs some therapy. Sure am glad I don't sweat. Tarnation. What a great word.
Almost done.
How do you feel, Samuel?
I feel like I had to use a fucking controller.
Yeah, not bad. My thoughts are all over the place, but that ain't unusual.
I'm glad you have that perspective, my friend. What came up for you tonight?
I've still got my head wrapped up in my past wrongs. I feel like kind of a yellow belly for running away from them to come here. But dang it, there's me labeling myself again.
Why are you calling yourself a yellow belly then?
It's a pattern of mine, that's all. I gave you my history, and it's a history of my running away. I ran from my home, I ran from all the trouble I caused, I ran from my wife and into the hands of a vampire gang, then I ran from them and hid out in the woods. When my gang tracked me down, I ran off to Europe. Whenever the going gets tough, Sam Walls gets going.
Samuel, this is quite the oversimplification. I remember a man who came into my office and told me about how he should have made better decisions as a traumatized child. In each of these cases you speak of, you made difficult choices following terrible events. Have some compassion for yourself, my friend.
Yeah, well, I haven't even given you the full story yet. There's another thing I've been running from. I got kin, Andy. Distant kin, but kin all the same. See, my wife was pregnant when she up and left me. Didn't even tell me. My line ain't never been strong, thank goodness. But I've got a great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter. Give or take one of them greats. I looked her up, and she ain't living well, Andy. I want to be there for her the way I wasn't for my wife and child. But all I am's the undead man who got her great-great-great-great-great-uncle killed. If I were her, I wouldn't give me the time of night. Which I guess is mind reading, but it seems like common sense to me too. Yeah, I've tried to make amends, but as far as kin is concerned, well, I ain't done shit. Hell, I can always be confident that I'll do the wrong thing when it comes to my family. I guess that's like being always right about being always wrong.
I see you are becoming quite perceptive of your own distortions, Samuel. But let me do some reflecting for you, and you can tell me how you perceive what I am saying. You consider yourself a yellow belly, a somewhat archaic term for coward.
Yes, that is labeling.
I guess I'm still doing a little labeling there, huh?
A little. I believe you understand that calling ourselves names does nothing to improve ourselves.
All right. Maybe calling myself a coward ain't too good for me.
Now then, you said you believe that your distant relative will not want to speak to you because you caused the death of another distant relative.
She wouldn't even know about that.
Sounds like I'm doing a little mind reading there. I can't really know what my my distant relation is gonna think of me.
Naturally. We vampires have a reputation as monsters, but that is not a universal reputation. In fact, I believe we are rising in public opinion.
Yeah, but if they don't see us as monsters, they see us as sex objects.
And now you are overgeneralizing. We are as capable of knowing the mind of society as we are of knowing the mind of an individual.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like most people do see vampires as sex objects, but whatever.
Yeah, you're right. I ain't giving my relative the chance to have her own thoughts. I should know better by now. Yeah, I know, there's another should statement.
Samuel, remember what I have told you. Cognitive distortions are a normal side effect of being human. Cognitive distortion classifications are tools, not weapons to beat yourself with. Give yourself the same compassion you give to your clients. Now then, let us continue to reflect on your concerns. You also believe that the positive changes you have made in your life are irrelevant where family is concerned.
Yes, and that is disqualified positive.
I'm disqualifying the positive by pretending the change I've made don't mean anything.
It is your favorite cognitive distortion, Samuel. Your humility is most endearing, but it does often enter the realm of cognitive distortion. There is a comfortable place between extreme humility and extreme arrogance, my friend, and that is in truth.
Yeah, I know. When you're right, and you're always right.
You believe I am always right?
I guess there ain't no way of knowing if you're always right. You just kind of give off an always right vibe.
I like to have good vibes, my friend, but vibes alone do not make the man.
If only that were true. Only vibes alone makes a person a good person.
Most of my existence, I thought I was always right.
That is not true.
That was when I was the most wrong. Don't believe the vibes, dear Samuel.
I'll try, but you don't make it easy. I can see where I'm making the same assumptions about my kin, though. I gotta give her a chance before I assume she's gonna hate me. I just know that if I end up going back to the States, things are gonna get complicated. Most of us vampires out west are on the younger side. We're still in that angry, insecure stage. And I know there's a whole gang of them hollering for my blood.
Are you afraid of them, Samuel?
You know what? I ain't. I just know at some point I'm gonna have to deal with them. And my gang is real powerful now, especially their leader. Did I ever tell you about my vampire daddy?
I assumed you would tell me when you were ready.
Called himself Ernie Awigdunkel. A real piece of work. Fella had more blood on his hands than any vampire I ever met.
I know this name.
You know Ernie?
He is a part of my darker history, and a part of humanity's darker history. He is your dark father?
Well, yeah. Is that bad?
He does not determine who you are, Samuel. But the man is still dangerous. His real name is Heinrich Kramer, and he is no mere murderer. He has a deep hatred for all humanity, especially women. I am discouraged to hear he still lives.
Is that a historical figure I don't know about? What did he do?
Well, what this Kramer fella do?
He wrote a book in 1487 called the Malleus Maleficarum,
Oh, is
also known
that
as the
it?
Hammer of Witches.
It's the para witches. Oh, that explains a lot.
It was with this justification that the church was enabled to persecute, torture, and kill women. Its effects linger in society even today. The Pope during Isabella d'Este's time, Alexander VI, named him Inquisitor of Bohemia and Moravia. What he did with his power is better left unspoken.
Well, shit. What was this guy's problem with women?
They refused to enter sexual congress with him. They did not like him. He practiced poor hygiene, acted entitled, and was extremely insecure. He defended his own repellent nature with great ardor, blaming women for their predictable dislike of him.
So he's naming him an incel in this game, alright.
He committed himself to a life of celibacy as a Dominican friar, cementing both his virginity and his hatred.
Wait a minute, he sounds like one of them incel types from the internet I've read about.
Oh my god.
I am afraid I am unfamiliar with the term, but he did make his lack of sexual appeal his identity.
I had to do some research because I'm pretty sure that's not the reason why he made that book. But, I could be wrong. I could be ignorant of this.
Dang, well, now some things are starting to make sense. How do you know this Kramer guy, Andy?
Samuel, know that I too have given myself to hatred. Mortals with a great capacity for evil drew my attention. I amused myself by indulging them. I do not absolve myself of my actions, but it is difficult to speak of them. The Andromachos of that time was a most pitiable vampire.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. I didn't mean to dig at old wounds.
Do not be sorry, my dear Samuel. We must not erase our pasts. Pain can be a somber teacher. I must ask, what became of Heinrich?
Well, he runs Sanguinius Health, the health insurance company I told you about the last time. It's vampires from the boardroom all the way down, stealing blood, money, and hope from American mortals. Running health insurance gives them all the money they need for even more dirty deeds.
How terrible. Oh, Heinrich, what depths will you not sink to? He disappeared from Europe 200 years ago. I had hoped he was gone forever.
Do you think he can change, Andy?
Oh, Samuel, yes, of course he can change. Like you and me, however, he must desire this change within himself. But hatred is not something Heinrich Kramer holds. It is his very identity. He will be reluctant to give it up. Are you suggesting that you aim to help him?
Do you think I shouldn't?
It isn't my choice, my friend. You will do what you are going to do.
I guess I don't know what I want to do. But I know Ernie, or Heinrich, and I'm starting to get a handle on this therapy thing. If I can help him, shouldn't I be helping him?
Let me reflect for you. You are aware that you have knowledge of Heinrich others do not have, and that you have newfound abilities as a therapist. Therefore,
I believe that's a
you
should
should help.
statement.
I guess that's a should statement, huh? Just because I know him and know something about therapy doesn't mean it's my destiny to try to help Heinrich Kramer.
Of course, Samuel. Your own life is your own. You make your own decisions.
Yeah, you're right. There ain't no should.
I am glad to hear you recognize this, Samuel. Heinrich Kramer is not your should.
Well, thanks for talking this through with me, Andy. I think it's been real helpful for sorting out my thoughts.
Of course, my dear. You did all the work. I am merely here to help you reflect. You have become quite adept at recognizing your own cognitive distortions. All there is to decide now is the path you choose from here. What drives you forward, my friend?
It's time to apply what I've learned.
I've learned a hell of a lot here, Andy. More than I could have ever imagined. But this European world just ain't mine, I reckon. Ancient demons, power-hungry popes, kings, and duchesses. This stuff ain't exactly in my comfort zone. Besides, vampires back home have got their own issues, and now I've got the tools to help them.
I had a suspicion you were working up to this decision, though I hoped it would not be so.
I really like it here, Andy, and you've been incredible. But if my heart still beat, it'd be beating for home. I don't want to let my clients down, but I think they're homebodies anyway. Maybe I can get them to do sessions over video calls or something.
I think you may be the only person who could get Isabella Deste to do a computer video call.
And we can continue my sessions from the internet?
Of course, Samuel. Naturally.
Well, I guess that's that then. I ain't gonna run out too quickly, though. I gotta arrange for a new cruise back home, and I want to tell my clients in person. That'll take some time.
That would be most considerate. Your clients have grown quite fond of you. Well, Samuel, I must say I am proud of you. It has been inspiring to see your command of cognitive distortions. I have no doubt that you will make your home a better place.
Coming from you, that's real flattering. Like I said when I first came here, I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
You will always seek those answers, my friend. And that is what will ensure you continue to grow. But enough embarrassing Samuel. I believe you should go down and get yourself a drink.
That sounds great, Andy.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
Well, that's it then. I'm going home. Once I let my clients know, I'll head back to the USA.
I guess I'm heading towards the end of the game now then.
Time to give Crimson the news. Crimson, my favorite barkeep. How's the saloon tonight?
You sound a little distracted, cowboy.
That's
Got something
not
to tell me?
Taylor? Are you sure? Such a sweet.
Am I that obvious?
You are. You're pretty
just be me.
adorable, Sam Walls.
I like to say approachably rugged.
Sure, let's go with that. What's the news, cowboy?
Well, I've been here for a few months now. I came here to get trained up by Andy, and now that I have been, I think it's time for me to go home.
No shit. Well, good for you, Sam. I think you're right. I don't think this place is for you.
I mean, I ain't gonna learn German, that's for sure. Moving on just seemed like the right choice. I got some unfinished business back home anyway. You don't seem that bothered by me leaving, though. I figured I might earn at least a frown.
Well, it just so happens that I've got some news for you. Can you guess what it is?
Is she a vampire?
You and Andy are getting married, ain't you? Congratulations, Crimson.
A vampire wedding? You serious? Who would even show up on his side? Charlemagne?
Well, I don't know. I was just guessing.
It's not that. Take a look at me. Notice anything different?
Taylor. Like she's dead, and red eyes, and slightly pointed ears.
Well, no.
How about now?
Yep.
Crimson, you're a vampire.
Newly undead and ready to bite some necks.
Well, what led to that decision?
I thought about what you said. About how vampires have got time to start over and time to do things their way. I'm going back to America too. Gonna join a different kind of bar again. The law moves slowly, but I've got time.
Dang, Crimson. A vampire lawyer. Look out, world. Kinda sounds like a neat video game. Vampire lawyer.
No, it doesn't. But I think I can make a difference.
How'd Andy take the news?
He knew it was coming, like he always does. Can't surprise that man. I love him to death, literally. And I'll come back someday. I just need to go my own way for a while.
Dang. Well, this is some big news. When do you think you're leaving?
Figure I'll go with you. I'll need someone to show me the ways of the night anyway.
Shucks, well that sounds mighty fine, Crimson. Might need your help going up against the big corporation my old gang is running.
You got a deal, cowboy. Don't look now, but dinner's just arrived.
Maxi, look! Crimson! She is now ein Vampir.
You are one of the night children now?
Looks that way. And we're in the mood for a little celebrating. Sam and I are headed to America.
Why would you want to do that?
They do have better network infrastructure.
Oh, I suppose that is true. Oh, but we will miss getting our necks beaten by you.
If you join us in the kink room, we will have a foursome.
Oh my god.
Come on, cowboy. We won't be in Germany forever.
Alone at last. My veins throb.
Who gets to bite me?
I'll let you get first pick, Sam.
Let's go with at Maxi.
Maxie, get on over here and give me that neck of yours.
Oh, du machst mich sehr glücklich. You really like meine Arterien, nicht wahr?
Oh, shoot, I wasn't aiming for them.
Okay.
That's some good stuff.
Oh, I am feeling woozy in the most wunderbar Weg.
Glad I could be of service.
The new vampire is not so bad herself.
I know my way around a neck.
I guess I should turn in now. Gotta prepare to give my clients the big news.
You are not getting away so easily, cowboy.
The night is only getting started.
Live a little, Tex. We'll be back in the land of Puritan pride before you know it.
Ah, what the hell? You only die once.
Okay. Oh, that happened.
Good evening,
The
sir.
cowboy
I
fucks.
believe you are seeing Dr. Drain tonight. Or is it Lord Lourdes?
I sure as heck hope I'm only seeing one client. I don't know how the doc's gonna take the news that I'm leaving, but I'm sure Lord Lourdes would love to see the back of me.
I believe Lord Lourdes likes to see the back of everyone.
He's a real sumbitch, but you can't say he's picky. I should get my distortions picked. Now let's see. Alright, got my chambers loaded up.
Is that really a phrase, or are you trying to get a reaction out of me?
I'm joshing a bit.
To cover up your very real obsession with firearms. I know you by now, Samuel Walls.
Guilty as charged.
I will leave you and your gun in peace. Good luck tonight, Samuel.
Alright, let's do this shit.
Hello, Sam. Evening to you, Dr. Drain. How you been this month? Seems like you had a big breakthrough last time.
Yes, I think I did. I have been feeling a lot better ever since.
Well, you look great. Like a new man.
Or perhaps the same man, but whole.
Now, come on, Doc. I don't
Sure.
know who you're labeling a butthole, but there ain't no call for it.
What are you talking about?
You said, or perhaps the same man, butthole.
Devil preserve us, I meant no longer separate parts. I am whole.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, you look a lot more at peace than I've ever seen you. Why don't you fill me in on the last month?
I can scarcely believe how the last few weeks have gone. I didn't do a single hour of work. I let my scientists do it. They couldn't believe I backed off. They thought I was dead.
But you are dead.
They don't know that, do they? Regardless, I thought I owed myself a little space. I actually stayed here in Germany the entire time.
Really? Here in Leipzig?
I went to Berlin. I heard you can do whatever you like there, and no one cares. I went clubbing, Sam. I bit mortal necks. I really had quite a nice
Oh
time.
well, good for him.
Yeah, I remember you were a good dancer.
Oh, I sometimes danced for several nights in a row. They keep some of these places free from light, so I was free to party day and night. I did end up doing some pharmaceutical research, though the more recreational kind.
Sounds like you were living it up. You're keeping safe, I hope.
Oh, Sam, I'm 430 years old. I don't have mortal fears. And did Lord Lourdes show up at any point? I dare say he was there the whole time, in some fashion. He's a much more agreeable chap when he's with me, though. Oh, and Sam, something else quite interesting happened. Oh, yeah? What's that? I engaged in coitus.
You fucked someone? Oh.
No shit. Oh, goodness, no. I've got Lord Lourdes under control now. Not to say that it wasn't exciting, though. I was a little nervous at first. I haven't had sex since I died, after all, not counting whatever Lourdes got up to. But riding another human being is like riding a bike, I suppose. It just comes back to you.
I mean, the action itself is quite simple, so I guess he has a point.
Well, dang, Doc. I'm just thrilled to hear you're letting yourself live a little. Yes, it's been a satisfying month. I'm headed back to Berlin tonight to meet my paramour again before I fly back to London.
So is this some kind of serious thing?
Not at all. Having a conversation with him makes me want to yank my hair out, so I just yank his curly locks instead.
Who the hell are you and what have you done with Dr. Drain?
It's funny, isn't it? I would have been disgusted with this person 6 months ago. Now I find I quite like him, and others seem to as well.
Well, maybe this is a good time to give you some bad news then. I'm headed back to America, Doc. I reckon I can do more good there than I can here.
Truly? But you're all so repressed there.
I guess you'd know, huh?
Touché. Well, Sam, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving, truly.
Oh, I ain't gonna leave you high and dry. We can still do our sessions over the internet. It just won't be in person no more.
Well, that's all right then. To be honest, I'm not sure I even know what I'd be looking for in therapy now.
I don't know, just a chat.
But then, I didn't know what I was looking for from therapy when I first flew in either.
Well, I appreciate your keeping an open, scientific mind, Doc. Is there anything you wanted to go over tonight?
Honestly, no. I suppose I should snap back to reality at some point and tend to my research, but not now.
That's a should statement.
Well, remember, them should statements are what got you to lock up Lord Lourdes in the first place. Think about what you could be doing, or what you want to be doing. It's that intrinsic motivation that'll take you where you want to go.
Of course. I'm a vampire now. I'm the master of my own destiny.
Attaboy. You got any strategies for what to do if you want to get into that plasma stuff again?
If I desire to go down that road, I am surely denying myself my vampiric nature again. Perhaps it is best if we maintain our sessions. I think I know what I want right now, and that's a sport of blood and dance. What do you say, buckaroo?
Oh, sure thing, old chap. Come on.
My dear Samuel, it is a big night tonight, isn't it?
Well then. Okay. One down. And where to go?
Oh yeah? Why's that?
You are breaking the news to Senora Deste that you are leaving, are you not? Against her nature, she has grown very fond of you, my friend.
Oh yeah. Who the heck knows why, right?
Are you fishing for compliments or merely disqualifying the positive once again?
Let's say fishing for compliments.
Very well. Samuel, your disarming charm and compassion undoubtedly make you an attractive vampire to our kind. Somehow, at a young age, you possess a natural wisdom that...
Okay, I was really disqualifying the positive again.
You are so easy to embarrass as well, which has its own charm. Very well, Samuel. I will leave you to your dark business. Good luck with Senora Deste, my friend.
I feel like she's gonna have a hard time with this. Black and white thinking, emotional reasoning, personalization.
Alright, got what I need. Here comes the good lady herself. Evening, Senora. It's good to see you.
I am pleased to see you as well. You have been on my mind of late.
Oh, why's that?
I wished to apologize for my behavior during our last session. I let my monstrous side come out, and I addressed you in ways most unseemly. You have been kind to me and did not deserve this treatment.
Oh, think nothing of it, Senora. Therapy's kind of the place for them big emotions to come out, ain't it? I didn't take it personally.
Oh, but you should, Sam. I called you some terrible names. I disrespected you. You should be quite angry with me.
All truth. I'm glad you let yourself get properly worked up.
Yes, that is exactly the problem. I allowed it. I allowed myself to insult a man who was being kind and patient with me. I lost control. I should not be so careless.
I don't expect you to always be in control, Senora. Like we've been saying since you walked in, you gotta have some compassion for yourself when you do lose that control. No one's saying you should always be in control. I think you're a superhuman, Senora, but you ain't superhuman.
You are, of course, correct. I fear I shall always have this tendency. But I am becoming more aware of it, thanks to your guidance.
That's the absolute best we can expect of ourselves. We ain't never gonna be perfect. Being self-aware is the closest we're gonna get. I ain't surprised at all you're making a ton of progress, Senora. You're a lady who likes to do things properly.
But let us say, not perfectly.
Exactly, you're getting it. I ain't worried about you, Senora. How have the last few weeks gone? Have you...
A little. It can be a little frustrating for me to paint when I am so unpracticed. I think I have always been better at recognizing and cultivating talent in others. The problem has always been that my artist cannot stand dealing with me. Poor Leonardo used to tremble whenever I said his name. I would like to try being a more patient benefactor.
I think that's a fantastic idea, Senora. Maybe the next great masters are out there waiting to be discovered.
Yes, that is my thinking. There will always be rise of the spacewalkers. But I can complain about the state of art today, or I can do something about it.
See, now that's a great direction for your frustration. Don't let them folks be the only ones making art.
That is my thinking exactly. I'm starting a foundation for the arts, specifically for talented, living women.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I aim to spend about €1 billion each year.
Oh my god.
I believe that should be enough to create art worthy of attention.
$1 billion a year? Where'd you get that kind of money?
My children's children intermingled with the Habsburgs and Medicis. My dynasty is full of blood-sucking investment bankers I can exploit.
Oh, you mean they're vampires?
Fair enough.
No, they're just mortal leeches. But they will do what they are told.
What about them artists you're funding? Are they gonna do what they're told?
I shall not hobble them, as I hobbled the great masters. I will let them share their own dreams. But they must be dreams. I will not fund a rise of the spacewalker.
Seems like you got a good game plan, Senora. This sounds like a real touchdown.
What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. Just saying, seems like you're on a good path, Senora. Maybe this is a good time to tell you I've got some news too. I'm going back home soon. To America.
Why would you ever want to go back there? Are you trying to get away from me?
Personalization.
Well, my personal stuff don't have much to do with you, Senora. No, it ain't nothing like that. I've got my own reasons. Stuff at home that's waiting for me.
I know I can be a little intimidating sometimes.
It doesn't have anything to do with you, Senora. It doesn't mean we have to stop doing our sessions. We'll just have to use some of them internet video chat things.
But I do not know how to use such things. Can't you stay here?
No can do, Senora. Besides, you gotta admit, I don't exactly fit in here in Europe.
Perhaps we need more men like you.
Oh, well, trust me, Senora. I ain't that special. I got my problems just like anyone.
The popes of my time would have hated you, dear Sam. They would feel naked before you. I suppose if you must go, then you must go. Will you at least teach me how to do a video call before you leave?
We can take a little time now if you're willing.
I would like that. Very much.
Come on, Senora. I'll show you how it's done.
Samuel, my dear, so lovely to see you. How are you feeling this evening?
Oh, all right. A little nervous, I suppose.
Alright, 2 down, 2 to go.
About Edmund?
Yeah, he didn't seem to be doing too well last time. Feel for the guy.
You had empathy and compassion for him when not many would, If you continue this approach, I am certain that all will turn out for the best.
I ain't so sure, I gotta admit. Maybe Eddie would have been happier living the lie.
In the short term, I believe you are correct. Inertia is always the easiest option, but inertia can also lead to a certain decay of spirit. Edmund, as you so astutely pointed out, has time to grow as a human. He will find his joys once more.
I sure hope you're right, Andy. I don't think I'm gonna see the same Edmund tonight, though.
It sounds as though you have difficult work ahead tonight. I wish you the best of luck, Samuel. Choose your distortions well.
What the fuck do I give him? Mind reading. Always white, right. Catastrophizing. And blaming.
Locked and loaded, boss.
Do you plan to engage in therapy with Edmund or fill him with holes?
I was planning on therapy.
Then try not to refer to cognitive distortions as ballistic weaponry, my friend.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Andy.
I'm teasing you, Samuel. Do have a good session.
Howdy, Eddie. It's good to see you.
Is it? Can it be good to see me if you do not know who I am?
Eddie, whoever it is that's sitting in front of me, it's good to see him.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
You're not feeling too good, are you?
Not very. I've spent much of the last weeks in bed, in silence, pondering the only question that matters.
And what question is that, Eddie?
To be or not to be?
Okay, dying is the answer, please.
I've said the lines so often, but I never understood them. They were just pretty sounds I used to make the people cheer. I said them with conviction, with emotion, or simulacra of such, and so full of sound and fury, yet in the end, signifying nothing. Now I know that the answer is not so simple. To be, indeed, or not to be.
Well, maybe you can walk me through it, Eddie. I never was much of a theater guy.
Of course. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. This part is simple enough. Do we accept our troubles as they are, or do we take the effort to address them? The bard continues with some more pretty speech, and then that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. I have borne those ills of my own making. My undiscovered country is the true Edmund Keene. Who is he? To be or not to be? Indeed, I have feared that undiscovered country with all my still heart, and now I have arrived there. Not to be. Where is the place upon this cursed orb that was made for Edmund Keene?
That sounds really heavy, Eddie.
Yeah.
But I want to help you with a little perspective. This idea that there's a place made for you ain't true. You gotta make that place. There ain't no cast list with roles to be filled. You gotta make your own role.
Perhaps I have taken all the world's a stage a bit far.
Well, maybe a little. You're a clever fella, Eddie, and you're still a human being. You're just dealing with a lot right now. Give yourself some compassion. It ain't easy starting over after 200 some years. I'm proud of you for soldiering on, hombre.
I do not understand why. What does the world need of me? All I have ever done is play the clown upon the stage. I am as unnecessary a man as ever there was one.
Okay, alright, but calm down, buddy.
Edmund has spent so long believing in roles.
I do not understand why.
I am as unnecessary a man as there ever was one. Eddie, who says you need to be necessary? Being you is enough, hombre. That's what you're gonna be regardless. I know it's a big, scary step being you, but you took it. And for that, I'm dang proud of you.
You are kind. And I suppose it is true that facing the slings and arrows of righteous fortune is a virtue in itself. But the future is now all undiscovered country, and it will be a hard land to navigate for a swaddling babe such as I. I can scarcely crawl. But at least I have you to help me.
About that, Eddie.
Oh dear.
I'm heading back to America, Eddie. I've got growing and changing to do myself, but we can still do our sessions over video call.
Oh no! Oh no, 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 you cannot leave, you must not!
Oh boy.
I will be all alone! The mortals
Okay.
wait for me to stumble, and when I do, they will fill my mouth with garlic and cut off my head!
Okay.
Eddie,
Okay.
come on, you're doing a little catastrophizing there. We'll still be talking over video calls. You've been handling yourself fine in London without me.
Oh, but I haven't! I absolutely have not! I stayed in my coffin for the entire month! The director of the play who disarmed me so seeks my head for the loss of her Piero! Oh, my dear man, you must not go! You cannot do this to me! You cannot turn me into a shell of a vampire and then abandon me!
I'm not doing that.
What makes you think I'm doing this to you, Eddie? I've got my own concerns that don't have anything to do with you. I'm going back to the U.S. for myself. Now I know you're coming from a vulnerable place and all, but I'm making this change for me, and you've got to accept that.
I know, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just don't leave me, please.
It's okay. It's okay to have a fear of abandonment, but you should not press people's boundaries as such.
I could come with you. I could go to America. Yes, a fresh start. I know America. I performed in Canada and in New York City.
Boundaries, buddy.
Well, Eddie, I ain't much of a city slicker. I'm headed west.
I could move in with you. We could be roommates.
Roommates. No, or no. No.
Eddie, no, that ain't gonna happen. Look, I think there's something to what you're saying about that fresh start. But my role in your own life is as your therapist. We gotta stick to them boundaries. Now, I'm happy to meet with you as your therapist, but you gotta be content with that, alright?
Yes. Of course. Yes, well then. That's settled. I'm going to America.
Good for you. You have a fresh start in Hollywood. Yeah.
I shall go home and pack my things immediately.
You'll take your time, Eddie. I need a little more time to wrap up here. I'll let you know what my schedule looks like over Vmail. Now, you gonna be okay?
Yes. The idea of a new start is rather exciting. I have something to look forward to.
Okay, I'm concerned, but okay.
All right, Eddie. I'll talk to you soon then.
Of course, yes. Oh, my country. My country, 'tis of the sweet land of liberty.
Eddie, we're vampires. We don't have countries. Don't go trading one problematic identity for another.
Yes, of course. Well, goodbye, Sam.
Adios, muchacho.
Well, a new companion, is it, Samuel?
Oh, it ain't like that, Andy.
I know. I am very pleased with you. You maintained your boundaries well and gave Edmund a lifeline. Well, an unlifeline. You are the future of vampire therapy, my friend.
Oh, shucks. I'll settle for the present.
Then the present is a fortuitous one. I believe you're owed a drink.
Oh, yeah. After that, I sure as hell need one.
Then go downstairs and enjoy yourself. You shall soon say goodbye to your last client. Enjoy Crimson's best while you can. Rest in peace, dear Samuel. Greetings to you, my
Okay,
dear Samuel.
last one.
It is, as always, a pleasure to see your face.
Oh, thanks, Andy. You got a nice face, too.
Why, thank you. It has served me well. I suppose tonight's meeting is bittersweet. You are saying goodbye to your last client, yes?
Yeah, that's right. Meddy should be showing up any time.
I would like to give you something then, before she arrives.
Thanks, I guess. What is this? A piece of wood?
Is this an autograph or something?
From a barrel. one that once contained a naked man whose wisdom I was not ready to appreciate.
Huh?
His name was Diogenes. He would scream at people as they passed by, telling them to break out of the realities they were so comfortable in. He questioned Athenian society, no matter how sacred, and emphasized the return to the beauty of nature.
Okay.
He saw somehow through the constructed reality we have all created and understood the miracle of the individual. You, my friend, through your rebirth and death, your travels in the wilds, remind me so much of the man. Thus, I give this part of the barrel he lived in to you.
Wow. Dang, well, thank you, Andy. What's it say, though? Some great insight about what it means to be human?
It says Diogenes was here.
Well, all the same, I love it. Thank you, Andy.
It could have no greater honor. Now then, I will leave you to tend to your client.
We could put in the usual. Squad deposit, bunch of blaming. Should.
Got my ammo at the ready.
We really need to talk about this gun stuff sometime. Whatever this thing is, it is very old.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to it, I'm sure.
Do not worry about it for now. Please take a moment. She comes.
Hello, little mouse.
Ooh. I like the outfit.
Oh, hello, Mitty. Interesting clothing you're wearing tonight. Have you been?
How have I been? Or rather, who have I been?
Sure, how about who have you been?
I've been a halfling druid.
Did she start her own D&D campaign?
You've lost me.
That's all right, sweet cowboy manling. I've had ever so much fun as a halfling
LARPing?
druid. My name is Bulgo Fraggykins, a halfling of Tuckland. When I was a child, I saved a tree from being burned by a group of nasty orcs.
She is a halfling druid named Bulgo Fraggykins of Tuckland, and she saved a tree from being burned down. That's amazing.
The trees gave me magical druidic powers, which I now use to cleanse the land of evildoers.
Hold on, is this a thing that actually happened? I know you're real old and things were different back in your time.
What are you talking about, my sweets? It's happening right now. Me and my companions, we're a fellowship on a noble quest.
I think she needs to explain D&D to good old Sam. What's this noble quest?
What's this noble quest you're talking about?
Well, in the city of Balin's castle, there's a philanthropist mage named Durgan the Munificent, who keeps the people happy and content. But my fellowship and I have discovered that he's actually a warlock serving An Calgon the Clean, an ancient dragon who seeks to purify the land of all mortals. Durgan is cutting down trees throughout the realm, which upsets me very much as a druid. We're going to defeat him, face An Calgon, and save the land
I'm glad
from
she's having
certain
fun.
doom.
Okay.
Your name is Bulgo?
You said your name is Bulgo now, not Mitty?
That's right. My name is Bulgo Fraggykins of House Fraggykins. My family produces the finest pipeweed, Fraggykin Kush, but they're always burning leaves to get high. They don't approve of my becoming a druid, so I have to leave home and live in the woods. That is, until the trees started to disappear.
So, I gotta call you Bulgo from now on?
That is my name.
Well, alright then. Bulgo.
Okay.
Hey, you never told me you were a druid. I know them types were all over Ireland back in your time, right?
A druid is a servant of nature. We protect all things that grow from the forces of evil who aim to corrupt them. In return, nature gives us certain magical powers. I, for instance, can turn into a squirrel and a wolf.
Well, dang. Seems like there's a lot about the world I don't know. But then I'm only 200-some years old.
And you're very silly.
That too.
Okay, what the heck are you talking about?
Okay, I gotta admit, I have no freaking clue what the hell you're talking about, Medi, or Bulgo. Are you doing all right?
I'm LARPing, silly.
Okay, so she is LARPing. Alright.
I don't know what that is.
Live action role playing. My friends and I get dressed up and we pretend to go on grand adventures.
Your friends? Who are your friends, Bulgo?
I did what you suggested. I emailed all my friends from the web ring and they were very happy to hear from me. Some of them live in Ireland, so we decided to get together and play games. It's been ever so much fun. They're all mortals, but they love that I'm a real vampire. They share their blood with me as part of our role-playing. It's how I summon up enough magic to turn into a squirrel.
That's incredible. I'm so happy to hear that, Bulgo. You got blood, you got friends, and what about the algorithm?
My friends and I performed a mystic nature ritual to clear my mind. Nature provides what I need, not hyper-intelligent monsters. The algorithm only wants boring things anyway.
Fucking true.
I close my glitch and only Zealot's accounts. I like my IRL friends better.
And how do you feel?
I feel happy. You were quite right. There are kind mortals. My friends have lots of mortal problems, but I have lots of money, so they don't need to worry about mortal things.
That sounds like a pretty decent exchange, Bulgo. Sounds like you're in a pretty good place, huh?
Well, almost. I have one problem that plagues me.
What is it?
Orcs. I hate them.
Orcs.
Orcs.
Orcs. They're all awful. They cut down trees for fun, they're always saying dirty words, and they like to kick halflings.
Overgeneralization.
Now, come on. I haven't met any orcs, but I know you haven't met all of them. You don't know their stories. Maybe they're that way because they were raised in troubled households and they don't know any better. Maybe some of them act that way because that's what you expect. Show a little compassion, the same as you'd show for yourself, and maybe them orcs will surprise you.
But the rule book says all orcs are evil.
Since when do you follow a rule book, Bulgo?
Perhaps you're right, little mouse. I have been a bit harsh on the orcs. I shall be kinder from now on.
You do that. I gotta share some news with you, though. I'm heading back to America. I've got my own orcs to deal with. Of course, we can keep doing our sessions over video chat. The time zones are a little rough, but I can talk just before dawn.
Oh, that's all right, little mouse. I would rather not do a lot of computer things. And I'm feeling much better now.
Are you sure? I'm happy to talk, and I don't want you to think you're all alone.
Little whisker face, don't worry about me. I have what I need now.
Well, if you're sure. If you ever need me, just send me a V-mail, okay? That ain't no social network. More of a digital Pony Express.
Perhaps I can tell you about my adventures and how I will exact my bloody revenge on Durgan the Betrayer.
I'd love to hear all about your adventures, Bulgo. I guess this is goodbye then, huh?
Nay, 'tis not a goodbye, but a farewell, sir. And may the light of Malone shine upon your path. Walk with nature.
Well, I hesitate to say any client is ever cured of cognitive distortions, but perhaps Bulgo is.
Yeah, I wonder. She's been pretty free of all this human society stuff for a while. Maybe she knows
I'm glad
better
she's
than
feeling
any of us.
better.
Perhaps. The Dark Angel Raziel ensnared even her, however, so we should be aware of his influence. Well, that was your last client. I suppose you are now free to leave whenever you like.
Oh, I ain't no rush, Andy. I'm still dealing with the cruise line to get some space for my coffin. I'll be here a little while yet.
Then I shall endeavor to enjoy your company a while longer. Come, Samuel. The nights grow long. Let us enjoy ourselves.
Hey, Crimson, you seen Andy?
All right.
I wanted to have a chat with him before we leave.
He slept in tonight. We had a long night yesterday. Had to say our goodbyes, too. Poor guy acts like everything happens for a reason, and he's got to accept it. He was a little quiet. Why don't you check his office?
I'll do that. Thanks, Crimson. Andy, you around? Crimson said you were acting a little strange. Andy? Oh, dang it, where the heck is that guy? Oh, he left the window open. It's freezing in here. I'll go close it. Ain't like Andy to be like this. Where the hell's he hiding when it's almost morning anyway? Wait a minute. Oh shit, there he is. I don't got time to pick my distortions. I'll just have to use the ones I know best. Andy, what the hell are you doing out here? The sun's coming up.
He's gonna. Oh no!
I did not intend for you to find me, Samuel. I had said my goodbyes already.
What are you talking about, Andy? There's no need to be thinking like this. Come on inside and we can talk.
Do not fear for me, dear Samuel. I do not leave out of despair. There is no distortion. This is simply a choice that I have decided to make.
How can you say that?
Samuel, I have walked this earth for more than 3,000 years. I have watched civilizations rise and fall. I have witnessed horrors and wonders you could not comprehend. I have been hated, and I have been loved. And I have hated and loved. I am a creature of myth, Samuel. A fragment of another age. My time passed long ago.
Okay, labeling.
Andy, these things are only true from your own perspective. You're doing some labeling and you know it. I know you ain't a mythological being. That's a cognitive distortion.
My friend, it is not. This is a world of computers, of technology. But I was here before the name Jesus Christ ever existed. I was here before civilization. It is not labeling to say that I am from another time, and indeed, older than most myths. This distortion does not apply to me.
Well, who cares about that, Andy? I think it's great that you got all this experience. You got perspectives most of us couldn't dream of having.
But Samuel, my perspectives are alien. The humanity I was born into is not the humanity of the modern world. My value is like that of a history book, and the perspectives I have, while well-earned, are of their time. Do not look to me for answers.
Disqualifying the positive?
Andy, now you're disqualifying the positive. You compare yourself to a history book, but history books don't talk. They don't reason.
Of course, my friend. But I do not disqualify the positive, not in the slightest. I merely ask you, and indeed humanity, to look to itself for answers. This is not a cognitive distortion, my dear Samuel. You give me such hope. That is why I must leave this earth to you, and those you will help cultivate and grow. I have had my place in this world for a very long time. I have done much good, and I have committed great evils. These things I accept. But it is time for me to stop having an influence on this world. When you told me that Heinrich Kramer still lived, it proved to me that I have had too much influence. The small choices I make change the fate of the world.
Control fallacy.
Andy, that ain't something you can know. Heinrich Kramer is his own man. He's made his own awful decisions. It's a control fallacy to think you caused what he's done.
It is not a control fallacy, my dear Samuel. My point was that my decision to support Heinrich Kramer had a lingering effect on this world. Like the wings of a butterfly, my actions have consequences for good and ill that cannot be predicted. But even butterflies die to support the natural order. This is not a control fallacy. Samuel, do not mourn me. All things must pass. It is the way of nature, a way that you know well. It is this way that brought you to my door. We have talked much in our time about the value of change and growth. Death is change, my friend. Nothing good can come from my having an eternal existence.
I think that's black and white thinking.
Now that's Nosferatu thinking if I ever heard it. Nothing good can come from your having an eternal existence. You're doing plenty of good all the time. Think of the people you've helped. Think about Crimson.
Think about me.
Sorry, I had to get after my cat.
I did not say that I could do no good, my dear Samuel. I have been honored to be a companion to you, to Crimson, and to so many others. It is the eternal that is incompatible with nature. My thoughts are clear. This is not Nosferatu thinking. I know you look for the best in everyone you meet, Samuel. You see potential where others do not. That is why you seek to rescue me. But I do not need to be rescued, and that is why I am honored to leave the future in your hands. I confess, I did not have hope for Edmund Keene. Rarely can such men be aided, but you persevered. I would not hope to help Heinrich Kramer either, but you dare to hope. I should leave and allow this hope to flourish.
Should statement.
Andy, pardon my saying so, but that's a load of horse shit. Where's that should statement coming from, huh? Just because you don't see the same potential I do doesn't mean you should leave. That's Distortion City Population Andy.
There are certain shoulds, however, Samuel, that are inevitable for the world to keep turning. The sun should shine, whether we like it or not. We should drink blood, whether we like it or not. And all things should die, whether we like it or not. It is not a cognitive distortion to please, Samuel. Do not make this difficult for me when it need not be. Go. Face your blood, Father. I believe you will succeed in turning Heinrich, and that will bring me peace in death.
But... Andy, I don't want you to go.
I know, my dear Samuel. But I must move on, just as you must. I have had my time here. Too much time. Too much blood has been spilled on my account. I have done much to atone for this, but for good or ill, my time must be over. I have a confession, Samuel. Perhaps it will make my decision clearer to you. I am Heinrich's blood father.
What?
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 I made him into a vampire. I gave him eternal life. In my hatred for humanity, I empowered him in his dark work. It is my choice that brought the Malleus Maleficarum into existence. My choice that fueled the deaths of so many. The beating of my wings 600 years ago killed your brother, destroyed your family, even caused the death of your princess. I am so sorry, Samuel. But I hope you can understand why I must go. The world does not need my continued influence. There is no cognitive distortion that clouds my thoughts. Only the clarity of seeing the long arc of history formed by my hand.
I don't know what to say, Andy.
Then say nothing, Samuel. Go back downstairs. Live your unlife. I have accepted my influence on this world, but that influence is over now. Crimson is now a vampire. She needs me no longer. You are a greater therapist than I. I am at peace. If I may offer a last word of advice, my friend, remember your strength. Approach every client with the same mentality you always have, and it will serve you well.
Wait a minute. Approach every client the same way. I know what Andy needs.
Now, I wish to see the sun.
That's where you're wrong, Andy. I do have something to offer you.
Compassion.
And that's
Shut up.
compassion.
Let me compassion you.
I know you've done some awful things, and that must weigh mighty hard on you. I can imagine the pain you feel at seeing someone like Heinrich Kramer running around reminding you of the vampire you used to be.
I appreciate your empathy more than I can say, Samuel. You are right. It is painful. But my decision is about more than pain. I know my presence is unnatural. My world has died so many times over.
I know it has, Andy. I watched my friends and family die out a few times. You've done it 100 times at least. If you didn't feel that, there'd definitely be something wrong with you. I'd say that pain is more natural than anything. But you don't have to feel that pain alone, Andy. You've made this world a better place so you don't have to.
You are kind, dear Samuel. Too kind to an old relic like myself. But I do not wish to see the history I have created. It is darkness that builds upon itself, regardless of what I do.
Andy, I forgive you. A lot of them decisions you made were terrible ones. Now, that Andy was a hateful asshole, but I feel sorry for him. Nobody who feels content and peaceful does things like that. I'm sure he hated himself as much as you hate him now. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and see a murdering sack of shit. But you're a person, Andy. You got needs, joys, regrets, and sorrows. You're deserving of love. And I love you, man.
Damn it, Samuel. Don't you know crying is dangerous to a vampire? It is fluid we cannot stand to lose.
Well, let's go get you something to drink then. Come on, Andy. Let's get back to the darkness.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you.
Oh.
Whew, what a night. Poor
Okay.
Andy. I think he'll be okay, though.
That was a lot. My goodness.
Being human means we're gonna keep making mistakes, but we'll have to accept them and forgive ourselves.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll keep an eye on Andy before we leave, but he seems pretty eager to help me with Heinrich now. That ought to keep him going. He gave me this here coffin as a gift, and I'll definitely think of him whenever I'm resting in it. Now then, I think I'll do a little reading from my favorite book. Something to inspire me for the challenges ahead. I learned this, at least by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. In proportion as he simplifies his life, the laws of the universe will appear less complex, and solitude will not be solitude, nor poverty poverty, nor weakness weakness. Yeah, you got it, Henry. I'll just keep walking and everything will turn out okay. Now, time to watch Mo yank Larry's hair out. Well, there ain't nothing funnier than some good old slapstick violence.
Is that it?
All right, I think I'm nice and relaxed now. Time for some good rest. The real journeys are still to come.
Probably save here. There.
Tonight's the night. Time to hit the dusty trail back home. You ain't gonna take any sunrise strolls, right, Chief?
I am fine now. It was a momentary lapse of self-awareness. I have much to regret, but much to live for as well. I believe that you can turn Heinrich Kramer, Samuel, and I wish to help you as much as I can.
You better, Sugar Blood. You know I can stay if you need me.
No, I cannot hold you or Samuel back. We all must continue on our paths. On my honor, I will continue as well, as I have for the last 3,000 years. You are already packed, and I would not see you delay.
I guess this is it then. Last time I'll see this bar for a while.
Immernacht shall not be the same without you, but it will be something new.
Oh, if you're looking for a new snack, there's this fellow who's been roaming around. Name of Kieran.
We have met. I should very much like to know him better. But do not worry for me, Samuel. A vampire is always comfortable with a little quiet. Regardless, I have my cats to snuggle. Now then, let us go outside. I shall see you off.
Well, here we are. Guess this is it.
Samuel, my dear, this is not an ending, but a beginning. Do not think that I have nothing left to teach you. We will speak over the internet. I do not release you from therapy.
Reckon I got plenty of work to do still anyway.
We all do. Now, Crimson, come. Embrace me.
Okay. Stop. Stop.
Gosh.
I'm gonna miss you, Sugar Blood.
Oh, God.
We will see each other again before long. And when we do, I will give your body pleasures that you cannot conceive of. First, I will lick your... There's the American I know so well. Very well. I bid you both an exciting journey. Now get out of here. Tears are unpleasant to our kind.
Oh, hey, Bert. You wanted to say something.
I think he wants to see us off.
Go on, my friend. Speak your mind.
Have fun, mate.
Oh, Bert. You always know what to say.
That's it then. In the past months, I've learned more about myself than I did in the last 2 centuries. I got reasons to hope that I can put my skills to use back home, and that I can help anyone who's ready to be helped. For the first time in my life, I got real friends who can't die. And together, we can be better vampires than we ever were alone. I was lost once. I didn't know what I was put on this earth to do. I didn't know why I died. I didn't know who I was. I may be a vampire, but I can reflect now. Now I know who I am.
We did it! Whew. That sure was a game. I think I really enjoyed that. It was definitely one of the weirder ones I played, but I particularly liked it. Like the writing of it, the characters. It felt like, I don't know if I would say realistic writing, but I really enjoy the therapy portions. I feel as though it helped me reflect a little bit on myself as a person. I think that's good. Well, I'll be back to stream tomorrow, and I hope all of you have a good night. Bye bye.